What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me, but I just got home off of an early morning flight, right? First thing through the door, I want to see my family. I love my family. You know, I'm a family man. I'm an advocate for families, right? Second thing, I got to get that hot shower because I got to throw the threads on. The threads make me feel like $1,000,000, but the third thing through my mind and all throughout the trip is that I gotta have that Tej pack. Tej makes my life uncomplicated. It's uncomplicated skincare for men. The first way that I started specifically was their level 1 system. It's a daily face wash to get rid of the dirt and grime on your skin. 2 times per week exfoliating scrub to get rid of the dead skin cells. An AM moisturizer with SPF 20 because you should always be protecting your skin from the sun, and a PM moisturizer to help your skin stay hydrated and healthy throughout the night. Here's the thing. My favorite part about Tej Henley is that every box comes with an instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. They really making the process of achieving and maintaining amazing skin for men uncomplicated. In addition to amazing skin, members of Tej Henley get tons of benefits, including at least 20% off the retail price, the ability to customize your box, exclusive monthly deals, you can pause and cancel at any time, and you get free shipping. And because Tej Henley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers an amazing deal, right? Just click the first link in the description and you get 30% off your first box, plus a free gift. It's an amazing deal. You got to get started today. You're not out here trying to look like a Dusty. And if you travel as much as I do, which I'm sure most people don't, but you know me, I'm pushing my bag chasers in order to be in the top 5%, top 10%, top 1%. We got to make our lives uncomplicated, and Tej Henley is no better product. You got to look good. You got to smell good. And you can't be looking like a Dusty. Make sure you get started today. Click the link in the description. Get that Tej pack. Feel the Tej, my friends. What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I am your host, Anton Daniels, and I am looking forward for us to have a phenomenal show today. Yo, let me just get a health check. Let me get a mental health check in the chat. Give me one word and let me know how you feeling this morning. What up, friends and family? Let me get a mental health check and let me know how you feeling in the chat this morning. I am curious. What are your thoughts? How do you feel? Are you excited? Are you absolutely ecstatic about what it is that you're going to experience this weekend? I realized that I got paid from corporate America today, and I didn't even care about that junk because I am absolutely, positively dedicated to what it is that I got going on. In the future, I see blessed, great, exuberant, determined, motivated, blessed. Shout out to Kojak. Struggling, not struggling, and we're going to get you up out of that. Determined, feeling all right. Get the likes up. Stupendous, fantastic, determined, fully active, blessed, super, healthy, blessed, delivered. I want to talk about blessed. Let me get to that in a minute. Great, superb, pumped, extraordinary, highly favored, energized. I like highly favored. Tired. I was tired, boss. Winning, blessed. Shout out to Rayshawn in the building. Amazing, astounding. I like that. I ain't heard of astounding in a while. Motivated, 3-day weekend. You got a 3-day weekend? Hey, don't we got like Labor Day or something coming up? Energized, determined, focused, learning. I like that, Kenya. Grateful, excited, grinding, good. Got the bag. Okay. Hungry. Futuristic. Jobless. Well, hopefully that's because you're doing something else and you're building a business. Unbothered and excited. The enemy attacked me on a bike ride. Broke my ribs and shoulder. Oh, that's better things to come. Don't worry about it. Hopeful, accountable. You dig. Monday, believe so. Fantabulous, grinding, ambitious, exuberant. Shout out to Courtney J. I don't think I ever seen you in here, Courtney. What up, though? Shout out to Christian Bailey. Bossing with my dog, Jay Woodfin. Productive. Labor Day is Monday. Really? I didn't know Labor Day was Monday. Happy, go lucky. Improving. What else we got up in here? Good morning, bag chasers. What up? Patient. Low. Social cis media. What's happening? Y'all need a little bit of motivation? You building? Seth said they building. All right, well, let's get into the show. Marketing Bam Bam Lynch says, listen, I love you guys, and I want to be able to add as much value as I possibly can into you, and so as a result, we're going to get into the show, all right? I got a full show prepared for you guys, and so hopefully I can add as much value as I possibly can. Thank you guys for continuing to tap in. You are absolutely awesome. I'm having a little bit of problems with this camera. I dropped this camera yesterday. I was moving to 75 because I got it on the thing, and now it's glitching out. I might have to switch out the lens, but we're going to see what happens. Hopefully we can get through the show, and we're not going to have any kind of problems as a result of it. K. Hollywood says, after last night, eye-opening. Shout out to everybody that tuned into the show last night. It was a great show, to say the least. But we are going to cook up. So, again, we got a full show available for you guys. Let me get the housekeeping out of the way, and we're going to jump right into it, all right? So, first and foremost, shout out to Teach Hanley, 30% off your first order plus a free gift. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock out. Shout out to Sid, got something to say. Said, I got discipline in the building. Also, make sure you tap into the Patreon. Tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Let me read a couple of the super chats. Also, shout out to my dog, Mike that dude. Always holding me down on Cash App. I appreciate you. I'm going to also read a couple of the super chats. Sky in the building. What up, Sky? Says, hey, AD, I watched the show from last night, and I agree with Q. You should cam up on Thursdays, too. Oh, man. I'm usually asleep at that time, but I would like to cam up and get your take on some things. Y'all want me to do a Thursday show, too? Shout out to Courtney. Said, I'm a quiet subscriber, but I love your content. Shout out to Sky, and Courtney. Y'all want me to do a Thursday night show? I would have to change the format, though. If I would do a Thursday night show, it would have to be a different format. I wouldn't do it the same way that I do Wednesday. I might make that one exclusive just for the ladies. Maybe I'll do a Wednesday night show for the fellas in which I give y'all the game on how it is that y'all need to navigate out here in these streets. And then I'll do a Thursday night show for the ladies. Occasionally, when I don't have a basketball game or I'm not traveling. I think about it. Wednesday nights for the fellas, Thursday night for the ladies. Put a 1 in the chat if you're down for that on a Wednesday night for the fellas and a Thursday night for the ladies. Wednesday nights is already out there for the fellas. Thursday night for the ladies, I can give y'all the game on how it is that y'all need to be finessing y'all way into marriage and into great relationships and into better financial space. On days that I don't have games, I'm not going to commit to it every single week, but I could tell you that I would do it. Lady Life Coach said I'm there. Yep, last night was a gym. Courtney J say 1. Throw a 1 in the chat if you're down for a Thursday night show so I can get a litmus test of what it is that y'all want me to do, and we're going to see what's happening. Ladies, I want y'all to know that if I do a Thursday night show for the ladies, then if I do a Thursday night for the ladies, you know the fellas going to be tuned in to see what it is that y'all got going on out here. All right. We'll see. Courtney says, I'm already married in time, but I'll tune in. But here's the thing, Courtney. It does not mean that you cannot continue to improve on what it is that you already got going on. Because I got some tips for y'all that's married. I can show you a few things that would allow you to continue to level up in your marriage. You can teach an old dog new tricks. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Sky. I appreciate you. Christian Bailey in the building with the 10 ball. Thank you, Christian. I appreciate you. Pablo Reyes says, just became a Patreon member, first time giving a super chat as well. Been listening to you for months and said I need to level up. What up, though, to the new Patreon members? Shout out to y'all. That link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. And also, Miss Croce Shetty is in the building with the 10 ball. Said for the collection plate. I appreciate you. Yeah. We rocking. Hey, a lot of people ask me, how do I have so much energy in the morning? No, I do not smoke trees. No, I do not take drugs. No, I do not do anything that gives me some form of an artificial high. I'm high off life, honestly. I streamed last night, and then I work in the morning, and then some people are familiar with what it is that I do on a regular basis, and they're familiar with my work ethic and stuff like that. And so often at times people inquire and they say, Anton, why are you so hyped? How are you able to maintain this level of energy throughout your shows, throughout your days? I don't understand it. How can you work in corporate America? How can you deal with people? How can you manage a household? How can you have a wife and a kid and do all of these different things and also be dropping content and never miss and be on top of things on a regular basis? I'm high off life, but more importantly, I'm gonna give you another thing, right? And we're gonna get into the show shortly after this. I'm gonna give you another tip. The main way in which I maintain my level of energy on a regular basis is I'm so driven and dedicated to what it is that I need to do, whether that be adding value into you, whether that be building on a legacy, whether that be taking care of my business, whether it be content creation, whether it be corporate America. I was in a meeting in corporate America yesterday and I did a presentation and it got rave reviews, honestly. And that's real talk. Rave reviews. And I'd be thinking to myself, damn, am I ever going to slow down? One of the reasons why you guys find yourself in this perpetual state of normalcy, averageness. I don't even know if that's a word. Is averageness a word? It's like something that I can't describe because I'm not used to it. The reason that you find yourself in a space to where you so content with the space that you in is because you chasing things that don't add no value into your life. And I'm going to be honest with you. You haven't reverse engineered your life to allow for yourself. I'm going to be reading that super chat shortly. Shout out to Bang the Game. You haven't reverse engineered your life to where you can allow for yourself to actually get to that next level. And so what happens is you substitute it with sex. You're not hearing me. You're not hearing me. You know why guys play so many video games is because they get to live the illusion of what it was or what it is that they can do and accomplish. And they've allowed you to gamify your life and to live in this alternate reality because life is not what it is that you want it to do. I gave my Xbox to my daughter the other day because she broke her Xbox. And so I took the one down from the office because I usually had a one off at the office here for when my daughter come visit me. But it was also supposed to be so I can game with her when I'm down here and when she's back at the crib, right? But I haven't played it. Literally, I haven't played it in a long time. I cut it on, I update all of the games on it, I download whatever it is, but I haven't literally played it in probably over a year. Gave it to her. I don't have any kind of visibility as it relates to it because I'm so focused on doing what I want to do and being high off life. And so what people tend to do is that they substitute their life, and it's not just with games, it's with everything. They have to numb the pain. They have to get on some kind of upper, right? They give you all of this medicine to not necessarily solve for what you're going through, but to allow for you to continue to be on the medicine, get addicted to it, and then you don't get the results as a result of it. So they're not solving for your problem. They're just treating the symptoms. They allowing for you to continue to go through it because they profit from it, and you don't actually get the solution for what it is that you want to do. Most of your problems can be solved with a real life reality check that allows for you to actually get to the bag. And so it's not necessarily getting to the bag. We call ourselves bag chasers because it ring a certain type of way. But the reality is that we are really doing the thing that's in our own best interest, and we understand all of the money, all of the success, and all of the game, and all of the being successfully married comes along with it. We willing to endure long enough to get to the success. It's just a fact. Q was like, Anton would never be able to be in a relationship if Rita wasn't in his life because he works so much and he's dedicated to his success and his grind. And no woman would be willing to deal with his work ethic and his schedule. Right? She said that last night on a live stream. I streamed a lot longer than I normally would, but she said that last night on a live stream. And you know what's so funny? That's not for me to determine because if I was hypothetically in a situation where I was single, I wouldn't care about anything that a woman got to do because I don't care that much about sex. I don't care that much about anything that I can't actually use, you know what I'm saying, to actually better my life. There's nothing that is that meaningful to me. People on a regular basis, even my own wife, will say, well, Anton probably needs it on a regular basis in order to maintain a good attitude. That's not true. It's not true at all. It's not true at all. The only thing that I care about, I hate to say it, honestly, I have been putting in my 10,000 hours ago for so long that the only thing I care about is the routine that allows for me to continue to be successful. Don't y'all want more than just that little bit of pussy that you get in the morning or at nighttime every once in a while? Don't you want more than whatever it is that you got popping up on your screen that you continue to beat off to? Don't you want more than whatever it is that your paycheck was that you got paid early and you know you're going to be going through the same thing next week or 2 weeks from now? Don't you want more than whatever it is that you've experienced last year that you also experienced in this year, that 10 years from now your life going to pass you by and it's going to be the same way that it was? Or is that enough for you? Honestly. Because I seen what y'all said in the chat and y'all said that I'm going through it, oh, I'm blessed. And a lot of times people say that I'm blessed in order to justify the circumstance that they in because they just appreciative of where they at and not necessarily taking care of where it is that they going. Don't you want more than to live in a simulation of ones and zeros that people have programmed in order for you to really be able to, go through the GTA or Red Dead Redemption or Fortnite or whatever like that? Don't you want to live that shit in real life? Like, you don't want to be playing Forza and all of the racing games. Don't you want to drive that shit in real life? Don't you want to experience what it feels like to see what $1 million look like? Don't you want to see what 100,000 in cash look like and then blow it and not even care about what happened to it yesterday? Honestly, like, don't you want to experience something more than living your life through somebody else's Instagram filter? Don't you want to really have fun? Have you ever like thought about whatever your favorite sport is and then what it would be like to sit on the sidelines at the 50-yard line in the front row or hanging out at the Super Bowl? Have you ever traveled to actually sit in the front row to see your favorite performer in their concert and see what it really feels like and not to have your phone on and just experience it? All of that shit costs money. It all costs money. Don't you want to go to the store or go to the restaurant and not have to even look at the bill and don't even know if they're finessing you or not? I didn't know that they was finessing me in the Dominican Republic for what they was charging me on certain things until after I thought about it 2 weeks later and I got home and I was like, damn, they was probably finessing me, wasn't they? Don't you want to know what it feels like to get into a car and to drive down the street and not worry about whether or not the police pull you over because you got your license, registration, and insurance all up to date and you're not worried about the payment that came along with it? Have you ever went to the car dealership and paid the entirety of the lease payment right there? Do you know what it feels like to not to have a house note and the only thing you got to pay every 6 months is the property taxes on it? Have you ever felt what it felt like to actually ride in first class or Delta One? Or are you always going to be so cost conscious because of your budget, because your checking account don't align up with your savings account? And so as a result, you always got to make the sacrifice and making sure that you pray to God that they're not fighting on that Spirit Airlines flight. Don't you want to know what it feels like to not to be able to give freely and not worry about how it affects your budget? I mean, honestly, think about it. Just think about what your dreams were and then also think about who took them away from you. Think about how slowly everything that you dreamed of as a kid just went out the fucking window because everything that you ever dreamed of was taken away slowly but surely, Lego block by Lego block, because you started to settle based off of your circumstances and the people that surround you. Don't you want to know what it feels like to pay your car insurance like 6 months out, just pay the whole amount and not have to worry about what comes along with it? Who paid you to kill your dreams? Who paid you to settle for the person that you laying next to every day? Who convinced you that the life that you live in was worth living when that's not the thing that you dreamed of or what your parents had in mind when they had you? What does it feel like to know that student loan payments is about to start back up in September and you're going to be under duress? What does it feel like to have to vote a certain way, hoping that a politician can change your life or to forgive you for something that you self-inflicted for? What is that like? Have you ever woke up in the morning and was like, you know what? I just feel like going and taking a flight over to this city so that I can have lunch over there, and then I'm gonna fly back in the daytime. You know what it's like to have the option to be able to send your kid to school wherever it is that's best for them? Huh? Have you ever wanted more, not just for yourself, but for your children? Have you ever wanted to be able to take them out and let them buy whatever it is that they want? Or is it always going to be this way? Is their kids going to be this way and the kids after that going to be this way? Or are you going to be the one that changed the dynamics of your family and the trajectory of where it is that you're going? Have you ever wanted to go into a place and you seen somebody suffering, or you seen they needed new equipment and you just went in and you bought it and that was just the thing? Have you ever just given somebody some money and just said, hey man, I was just thinking about you. God bless you. Have a good day. Or are you always the one that's on the receiving end? Or are you always the one that's going to be wishing? Or are you always the one that's going to be begging? Have you ever wondered what it felt like to not chase pussy for 5 minutes so that you can actually focus on what it is that you got going on? Or are you 100% dedicated to the pussy chase for the rest of your life? You ever wanted to actually go and shop and buy the thing that you want that's actually dope for you? Or are you so focused on what everybody else's drip feel like? Have you ever actually wanted to go and do the thing that was meaningful to you? Or everything that you do and every way in which you live based off of what somebody else told you that was fun? Have you ever went ice skating? You know what I'm saying? Have you ever did things that was unique to you? Or is everything based off of what it is that they posting on the gram and TikTok? Have you ever known what it was like not to be poor? Have you ever wanted that for yourself? You ever wanted to drive a Ferrari Enzo? I haven't yet, but it's certainly on my bucket list. You ever wanted to know what it was like to go and buy a computer without using Klarna or Afterpay? You want to know what it's like to actually not have credit card debt? You want to know what it's like to actually be able to build a house from scratch and then give the game over to everybody else? Yo, are you so concerned with asking everybody for what it is that you need and you so busy begging, or are you so focused on building so that you can be the one to give? Are you the giver or are you the receiver? Pause. You want to know what it's like to take your family out and be able to pay for dinner and everybody just have fun and they not worried about the bill? You want to know what it's like to buy your mother a house and she ain't got to worry about being under duress? It's a different life that's available to you, but you not unlocking it because you so focused on your circumstances instead of being focused on where it is that you're supposed to be. Listen, box is not an accomplishment. Getting a chick to lay down with you is not a flex. That's not a flex. Ladies, letting a man bust you down that don't care nothing about you is not a flex. Having your kids have another man that you don't know, that didn't birth them, coming into your household and making sure that they taken care of because they need a father figure in their life is not a flex. Being broke and poor and depending on your employer to give you a paycheck at the end of the month in order for you to be able to survive is not a flex. Living paycheck to paycheck is not a flex. Making sure that you do the things that's in your own best interest, even though you don't have the capability to do so and you are largely dependent on somebody else in order to take care of you, fellas, is not a flex. Paying for a woman that don't care anything about you in order to try to get some box and it's not even guaranteed that she gonna give it to you is not a flex. It's not a flex. These things that I'm naming for you is your reason. Taking care of your kids is not a flex. I hate to break it to you. I know it's going to be some people that run in the Victim Olympics and they're going to disagree with me, but it's not a flex. You know what it is? It's your reasonable service. That's what's supposed to happen. You're supposed to be paid. You're supposed to be successful. You're supposed to not be under duress. You're supposed to be married. You're supposed to be successful when it comes to your relationships. You're supposed to have a great network. You're supposed to be able to get up and go wherever it is that you want when you want to. You're supposed to have the option to go and buy what you want to buy whenever you want to, even if you decide not to do so. You're supposed to be able to buy whatever car you want to, even if you decide not to do so. You're supposed to be successful. You're supposed to be rich. You're supposed to be great. Your kids are not supposed to be living in the hood under duress. You're supposed to be able to go wherever it is that you want to go. That is not a flex. That is your reasonable service. We're raising expectations over here at the Bag Chasers and the Millionaire Morning Show, because we are not going to live our lives based off of the substandard living conditions that's been set before us by people that don't even care anything about us. That is not a flex. You settling for another man's junk, talking about one man's trash is another man's treasure, is something that was made up by the dude that was digging in the trash. That is not a flex. It is not a flex to dig up somebody else's trash and then look at it as a treasure. That is not a flex. That is not your life. That is for somebody else. Somebody got to do it. Somebody got to do the trash. Somebody got to make sure you're taking it out. And that's okay if you do it. I don't have nothing bad to say about somebody that's doing it legally. All I'm saying is it's not going to be me. I've done my duty. I've paid my dues. I am not supposed to be doing that for the rest of my life. I am going to live in bliss. And that is going to come from me making sure that I meet my expectation of what I've set for myself and higher standards than what it is that your parents set for you, or your homegirl and what it is that she's living in. She's living in substandard living conditions. And every night she's laying down with a dude that don't care nothing about her. And it's a different one. It is not a flex. That is not a flex. When are you then going to make an adjustment so that you can actually get to the spaces that you need to get into? I am not eating after nobody else. I am not taking your leftovers. I don't take leftovers home. I don't even get doggy bags when I go to the restaurant. That is not a flex. I am there to enjoy it, and then I want them to clean up after me. I do not feel like carrying anything back to my car. So you may be there right now, but that is not where you have to be a year, 2 years from now, 3 years from now. You can make the adjustment. This life that we're living, complaining and whining, and then living under duress is not a flex. You are not supposed to be overly in debt. You are not supposed to be suffering. You are not supposed to be getting cheated on. You are not supposed to be... When you going to have higher expectations for yourself? And I'm not telling you that you just got to settle based off of the fact that you want something different. I'm saying that you become something different, and then you become what it is that you attract. If you want a great person, stop praying for them and start doing the things that great people do so that you can align yourself with people that are great. And then you'll start to attract greatness. It's self. You got to deal with self. It's nobody else's expectation but yours. If you want a good car, then make sure that you go to work every day, make the adjustments, make the sacrifices, invest in your assets, and then let those assets pay for your car. And if you can't do it for yourself, do it for the people that's dependent on you. Let's get into the show. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. I'm going to read a few more super chats, and then we going to get it popping. Shout out to the Bang the Gang. Says, what up, though? Oh, my God. What up, though, AD? Yo, I need some tips on how to create good content starting off. I want to add value to the men's content space. What up to the BCs? Yo, listen, Bang the Game. This is what I'll tell you. Bang. Stop focusing on adding content into the men's space and start focusing on adding content into your life. You will find your tribe and your lane, but do not depend on the men's space in order to do so. Naturally find. I've never said that I'm a part of the manosphere. People just slot me wherever it is that they slot me. I'm so focused on building me and adding value into my people life that I'm not necessarily focused on where I'm slotted. I'm focused on where it is that I'm projecting myself to go. I always say that if you want to create good content, focus on the thing that you're naturally good at. Focus on the things that you're naturally good at. Don't focus on creating content based off of what everybody else wants you to create. Focus on creating content based off of wherever it is that your life is. Document you. Get your authentic thoughts out there. What is it that you have to say? How can you add value into other people's lives based off of your own life experiences? Don't say what everybody else wants you to say. Don't do it because you think that it's going to give views. Do it because it's meaningful to you, and then you'll start to figure out where it is that you're going. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you. I appreciate you. Bang the game. Thank you for contributing into the platform. El Guapo says, yo, this is my first super chat. I'm 21 from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and you are a big inspiration, big dog. Shout out to my people and my first super chatters, El Guapo. Thank you for tuning in. We are going to continue to add value into your life, big dog. I appreciate you. Marcus X is in the building. Shout out to Marcus. Says you want you to have a wonderful day. Peace and love. Shout out to Marcus. Bilderberg boy is in the building with the 10 ball. Says, I was just talking to my brother about this. He was like, damn, do you game anymore? I told him I have made $165,000 in the last 8 months, and there's 4 months left to go before the end of the year. Damn a game. Fact. This is the game. Real life is the game. Shout out to you. Marcus Hill is in the building. Said I had to come back to church and receive the gospel this morning. Hashtag boomerang bag chasers. Shout out to Marcus Hill back in the fold. I appreciate you tapping in, big dog. Bam, bam, lynch. And don't make me come back and chase you. I want you to be here for a long time, Marcus. Don't lose your way and then have to come back over to the congregation. I want you standing in the front row of the church. You know what I'm saying? Bam Bam Lynch is in the building. Says nothing worse than work ethics and bad direction. Shout out to Bam Bam. My dog, Persevere Data TV. Oh my God. Persevere Data TV been winning for so long, and he's still contributing into the congregation. I appreciate you, Persevere Data TV, man. My guy. Last time that me and Persevere Data TV had a conversation, he was getting off the phone. He was like, God damn it, I ain't even think about that shit like that. And I'm sorry. I'm changing my language. We're making this more of a PG-13 show. Shout out to Persevere. Let me give him another round of applause. Persevere Data TV is in the building. Thank you, my friend. Courtney J says, you said a word today. Appreciate you. No, I appreciate you. Thank you, Courtney J. Jeremy H is in the building. Says, when you coming to DC, I got to buy a new blazer. You ain't got to buy a new blazer just because I'm coming to D.C. You buy a new blazer because you want a new blazer, and then I'm going to see you in D.C. in October. You know what I'm saying? DeJuan Alford says, what up, though, Anton? Good job. Shout out to my Detroit brethren in the building. I appreciate you. Alvin S. says, you preaching real good and raising the bar each and every day. Thank you, Alvin S., for continuing to hold me down. You are absolutely awesome, Alvin. Thank you, my friend. Also, Greg Charlie. Speaking as a UAW member and Stellantis worker, we have been witnessing them slowly working us out, making the plants all robotic, and that's why I recently got out of school for HVAC in April and became a bag chaser a few weeks ago. I've been having this conversation about the UAW and Stellantis and Ford and GM and all of this other type of stuff for a long time. Guess what? You don't wait for them to put you in a position under duress before you make adjustments for what's in your best interest. You do not wait. Hey, Greg, holla at me, big dog. I'm building a lot of houses. I might have some work for you, big dog. Shout out to Greg, and I appreciate you, bro. Christina says, how do women balance striving for financial success and family? What would be the best way to achieve financial success? Yo, Christina, I don't think that you need to, I think that you can do both. I think that you can do both. What do you mean by and family? Do you have kids? If you have children, I believe that women should focus on their children when they're young, but once they become of age to where they can go to school full time, I don't see why you can't achieve financial success that comes along with it. Once a kid becomes of age because they then become old enough to actually be in school full time, I don't see why you can't then also achieve financial success. I know plenty of women that do it. I know Indian women that do it, black women that do it, white women that do it. You can be successful financially and you can continue to level up in your career while also maintaining your femininity. You just gonna have to be able to cut it off and cut it on. The thing that y'all gonna have to do is learn how to time box. Learn how to, when you're not at work. I don't take my work computer home unless I'm actually looking to work from home the next day. I cut it off. One of the things that y'all gonna have to do is learn how to get a Google Calendar and manage it effectively. Go into the Patreon, look at how it is that I set up my calendar. Learn how to get a Google calendar and manage it effectively. When it's time to go home, you go home. When it's time to be at work, you be at work. When it's time, a lot of times we have a lot of distractions in our lives, and we can start to actually time box how it is that we're using our 24 hours and whether or not we're using it effectively if we actually live and die by our calendar. Your calendar is your Bible. All right, Christina, hit me up. AntonDaniels413@gmail.com. We're going to get you set up. Let me hit a couple more super chats and then we're going to get into the show. Christopher Williams says, trying to get off this paycheck to paycheck life, it sucks. You ain't got to try. You just do it. You just do it. You don't have to try. You just do it. You have to lower your lifestyle, make the adjustments, start to invest. First of all, get rid of the debt. Secondly, you need to make sure you start investing in things that's assets that's going to add value into your life. Then let your assets pay for your lifestyle, and then your paycheck then becomes just a part of whatever it is that you contributed into your assets because you're not living off of it anymore. Shout out to you. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Marcus Hill is in the building. Marcus says, I'll be looking to book a session soon. Be on the lookout for my email. Shout out to Marcus Hill. We rock with you, bro. You are an alumni of the Bag Chasers. Listen, let's get started with the show. Again, make sure you tap into that Teach Hanley, 30% off your first order plus a free gift. Let's get it rocking, ladies and gentlemen. Mitch McConnell. All right, we gonna span all across right now, but first we're gonna bring our legislative branches to the front of the congregation, and we're going to continue to acknowledge cash apps and super chats for everybody to contribute. I do not ask for it, but I got to make sure that I acknowledge you guys because you guys are absolutely awesome. Also, shout out to Tommy for the 20 ball on Cash App. And shout out to Stephen Clay. I appreciate you for the 20 ball. Thank you, my friend, on Cash App. Mitch McConnell. How old is Mitch McConnell? Let me look this up real quick. Mitch McConnell is 81 years old. 81 years old. Now, when he froze up the first time, I didn't trip about it because I was just like, listen, he old. He going to have some handlers. Maybe somebody is going to whisper in his ear and say, hey, Mitch, it's time for you to sit down. Then Mitch froze up again. Just recently, again. Another time within the last 2 months, Mitch froze up again, 81 years old. How old is Biden? Let me look up Biden. Biden is 80 years old. 80 years old. Let me play the story before I start giving my commentary. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's get it rocking, y'all.
To another alarming moment, this one involving Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell appearing to freeze again in front of reporters, appearing unable to answer a question for more than 30 seconds. And so Rachel Scott tonight on Capitol Hill with more on McConnell's condition now.
Tonight, new questions about the health of the Senate's top Republican Mitch McConnell after he froze in front of the cameras, seemingly unable to speak for the second time in just over a month.
What are your thoughts on running for re-election in 2026?
What are my thoughts about what?
Running for re-election in 2026.
That's
Did you hear the question, Senator? Running for re-election in 2026?
yes.
Did you hear the election? Did you hear the question, Senator? Did you hear the question, Senator? Running for re-election in 2026, sir. Did you hear the question? This is the second time that this junk done happened. Biden be getting off the helicopter, tripping up the steps to go on a plane, to get on Air Force One. Listen, y'all, politics aside, these people are too old. We need term limits for these people. And more importantly, I believe just as much as we have a age limit to where you can run, as you know, the minimum age and what you can run for president, we need a maximum age to where you age out. There's no reason these people should be dying in office. There's no reason that these people that can't ride a bike should be able to manage the country, and they don't even have all of their cognitive functions. What the fuck is going on? I don't care what side of the aisle you on. Listen. Biden is 80 years old. He can't walk by himself without having an aide. Mitch McConnell is 81 years old and he's freezing up on national TV. So if he's freezing up right here, then you know that he's been doing it behind the scenes for an extended period of time. This ain't the first time that he froze up just because he on TV twice. If y'all don't know that this man is freezing up a whole lot of times behind the scenes and at home, fam, they are freezing up. So I'm a little worried, and I'm going to tell you why I'm worried. But I'm going to tell you after I continue to play this video.
All right, I'm sorry, you all. We're going to need a minute. Senator Benny.
Yep.
Look, he can't even move. He can't move.
I'm gonna head outside, so come with us.
The senator ultimately taking a few questions before being led away. Last month, a similar episode on Capitol Hill. McConnell freezing for 20 seconds, unable to finish his sentence.
Are you good? Mitch?
Okay, Mitch. Anything else you want to say, or should we just go back to your office? Do you want to say anything else to the press?
McConnell's office telling ABC News, in both instances, the senator just felt lightheaded. But concern is growing for the 81-year-old leader, who has had a series of health scares this year. A fall in March left him with a concussion and fractured rib. He spent weeks in rehab. Then in July, another fall on an airport jet bridge. And sources tell us that for months, the senator has sometimes used a wheelchair. McConnell's office tells me that he does plan to see a physician before his next event. Leaders on both sides of the aisle wishing him well today. President Biden saying while he disagrees with McConnell politically, he does consider him a good friend. But this is certainly putting a spotlight on the age and the health of leaders on both sides of the aisle, including the frontrunners in the race for the White House. President Biden is 80, Donald Trump is 77. David?
Rachel Scott, live on the Hill. Everyone wishing.
Mitch McConnell's net worth is allegedly, hold on. It's estimated to be over $35 million. Man, if you don't sit the hell down. Mitch McConnell's net worth is allegedly the equivalent of about $35 million according to multiple different sites on the internet. First of all, I'm just curious how you accumulate $35 million by being a senator, by being a public servant. How do you accumulate over $35 million as a lifetime public servant? How? How is that? Mitch McConnell and his wife, Elaine, have jointly amassed a substantial net worth ranging up to $54 million according to their latest publicly accessible financial disclosure agreement from May 2018. Estimates suggest that Mitch McConnell's personal net worth, even without his wife, stands at over $35 million. How? How does why is everybody that is in your legislative branches for an extended period of time net worth just absolutely exploding? How is that a thing? How is that possible?
Mitch McConnell, well, Rachel, thank you.
Hi, everyone. I don't understand. Why is an 81-year-old man still seeking re-election? Why is an 80-year-old Biden seeking re-election? Honestly, y'all, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I honestly think that it's a strong possibility. It is a strong possibility that these people These people might not even be people, yo. These might not even real be these might be Manchurian candidates that's malfunctioning in front of it. Why would they want an 81-year-old man to continue to run for public office? Why would they want this man in office? Why would they want an 81-year-old man to seek re-election in 2026? When he's going to be what? 84? He keep falling down the jet bridge. He can't ride a bike. He can't walk down the street by himself. Why do we not have term limits as far as... I got another video where allegedly a doctor is explaining exactly what it is that's wrong with Mitch McConnell. I want to play that video.
So as we
really
have
quickly.
been reporting here on News Center 5 tonight, great to have you, Doctor.
Thank you for having me.
Right off the top, let's be very clear. The 81-year-old senator is not your patient, right? Mm-hmm. You haven't seen him. He's not your patient, right?
That's correct.
But after seeing this video, you're a decorated professional. After seeing this video, what questions do you have?
Yeah, well, I saw this video as well as the one from a month or so ago, and this fits into
I'm reading Super Chat shortly.
a category of a neurological spell. That means he's fine, something happens, and then he's fine again. I'm presuming that he's not like this all the time. And the collection of explanations for these brief spells is not very large. The details that I would need to know to explain it would have to come from him, as well as from what others have observed around.
How can you give the details from him and this man can't even form a sentence? Who in their right mind is still letting this man walk around make decisions on behalf of the country? And he's a Senate majority leader? Man.
Mm-hmm.
So doctor, and again, you're not his doctor, but as you know, we only have a few pieces of the puzzle here. So far, his office has confirmed at least 3 falls this year, including one in March that left him with a concussion and broken ribs. And then last month, he appeared to have, and you were saying that you had just seen this as well, that incident similar to the one today, where he froze mid-sentence during a press conference, seemed disoriented and confused. So do you...
I bet you he can't even dress himself. I bet you that he can't even dress himself. I bet you he can't even go to the restroom by himself. He can't even move. I bet you that he can't even dress himself and that he can't even go to the restroom by himself. Come on, man.
Do you think that these separate events could possibly be related?
They could possibly be related, and I don't think that whatever's causing this to happen caused the fall, but the fall and the head injury could theoretically be related to these episodes. Frankly, I think the most likely explanation is little tiny seizures, which are electrical changes in the brain.
TIAs?
Come and go.
The TIAs?
No, TIA is a blood flow problem, and I think that's less likely because if he's having the same spell over and over, it's more likely to be a seizure than it is to be a blood flow.
So this dude is having seizures on the podium and possible strokes on the podium. And y'all think that these people are okay to actually be able to vote on and elect and craft the policies that then govern our country. This is crazy, man. This is crazy. If we don't get these people out of office, here's my question. How are y'all voting these people in office? Why are y'all voting these people in there? You know what? I'm not even going to hold Mitch McConnell accountable. I'm just going to say that the majority of people that vote are stupid. Let me just be not so politically correct. Y'all are voting like idiots. The majority of the people that are voting are idiots. Flat out. If you voted for Mitch McConnell, then you are a fool. Listen, we don't need no term limits. We need term limits on the people that's voting for these people in office. Why are y'all voting this man in office? Why is he our pick, y'all pick? He can't even stand up in a debate. Y'all the ones that voted him in. It's not even their fault. Listen, if you telling me that this man can win in 2026 and that's cool with y'all? Come on, man. What are y'all doing? Why Why are y'all voting Mitch McConnell in there? I got a better question for you. Why did you vote Biden in there? Biden is 80 years old. He looks like a walking corpse. He looks like death breathed on him and just froze the outside, and then he let the inside still function a little bit. He looked like Dracula drained his blood and put some hair on his head and the corpse and then started to operate on his body. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? Why are y'all torturing these old people? Would you let you won't even let your grandmother make a decision on what's behalf on the family. Y'all be like, grandma is just old. She crazy. Don't worry about her. She out of her mind. It ain't her fault. Grandma's old and crazy. It ain't her fault. Man, my mama can't even tell us what to do no more. I'll be like, hey, ma, we got this. The fellas come together. We make a decision on what's best for the family. Me and my brothers all come together. The wives sit there and they take care of, they sit there and they have a conversation with mom. And mom has all of her functions. She is in absolute phenomenal shape. My mom at like 60 can't even tell us what it is to do. At 60 something, about to be 70, can't even say what the fuck is going to happen with the family. And y'all letting these corpses up here tell y'all what to do. They are the leaders of the world. They determining how it is that we going to have our policies, what's going to happen with the student loans, who we going to go to war with, when we going to hit the button, and they can't even walk up the steps. They can't walk down the jet bridge without falling for themselves. They need to be in care. At 80 years old, listen, if you see me streaming on YouTube at 80, it's a problem. Get me the fuck up out of here. Give me a term. We need term limits on content creators. If you see a motherfucker live streaming on YouTube at 80 years old, get him up out of there. He not in his right mind. He shouldn't even be there. It's nothing that you should want to do on YouTube at 80. It's nothing that you should want to do from a policy perspective at 80. Is no reason for you to be online at 80. You need to be somewhere shaking your tail feather on a nude beach, not caring about what people think about you and moving accordingly. Is nothing that you should be doing at 80 except for enjoying yourself. You shouldn't be making no decisions. You shouldn't even be feeding yourself. The only thing you need at 80 is Viagra and Cialis. Other than that, go and have some fun. What are you sitting here still having a conversation about? Get some Viagra and Cialis and dance, bro. Go have a good time. You ain't got much time left. Go get right with God. Go get right with God. Ask for forgiveness for all of the shit that you drove us through as far as this economy in order to enrich yourself, you and your friends. Ask God for forgiveness for all of the bribes that you took and for all of the payouts that you got in order to let lobbyists continue to ruin the country on the behalf of the middle class and forcing them to pay taxes while you over there enriching yourself. Go ahead and ask God for forgiveness. Go to your preacher, go to the teacher, go to the Catholic church, go to communion, take your last bit of bread and wine, and go and chill the fuck out, man. You don't even need teeth at 80. Ain't nothing for you to say. You don't even need teeth at 80. It's nothing for you to say. Everything that you eat should be soft serve. Ice cream, applesauce, juice. You know what I'm saying? I got better things to do. Listen, man. I got better things to do at 80 than to sit here and fucking rock out with y'all. That's just my thoughts. I'm going to read some of these super chats and then we're going to keep it moving. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all. Hey, shout out to Mariana's Delgado out there on Cash App. I appreciate you, my love. Flat out. And ladies, y'all really don't need teeth at 80. Let me say that before I read the super chats. At 80, there's nothing that you need teeth for. And if you're still doing stuff at 80, because I plan to still be active at 80, gum jobs. Gum. You don't even need teeth at 80. Just keep doing what you're doing. If you still married and y'all still alive, you don't need no teeth. No teeth. You can't even open up your mouth that wide anyway. You don't need no teeth at 80. That's a fact. I see Fan in the chat. Fan is over in the chat. Fan, you're not gonna look that. You're not gonna look how you look at 80. Enjoy it now. What up, R Streets? R Streets, I seen her at the meetup in Miami. She was looking gorgeous. R Streets is one of the most beautiful women, one of the most beautiful black women that was looking absolutely stunning. She ain't gonna have that. She ain't gonna have that shape at 80. Connie, I see you. You thinking you cute. Sid got something to say. You ain't gonna have nothing to say. You ain't gonna have no teeth. Shout out to Sid, got something to say. Azriel, yeah, no teeth. No teeth. Fan. Hope. Show all of your breastises now and all of that other type of stuff, because there ain't gonna be nothing for you to show at 80. Everything gonna fall. Everything is falling at 80. All of my ladies in the chat, y'all need to be sending me DMs right now of your best look. Ladies in the chat, send me a DM of your best look. Shout out to K Cooper on Cash App with the 10 ball. Sid, I want to see what you look like. Send me your best outfit. DM me right now of what you look like so that we can get the best about you now. Because when you 80, I'm not going to want to do it. I ain't going to want nothing to do with you. Toy. You're not going to need them teeth. You're not going to need them teeth, Toy. That's just a fact. K Cooper, forget about it. K Cooper, forget about it. You don't need your teeth at that point. Randy, what up? Randy, I see you in the gym getting it, having a good time, going out to dinner. No teeth. No teeth. No teeth. Forget about it. We don't need them. Why are you spending money on teeth? You need to let your grandkids, great grandkids inherit that. Doe Smith, what up though? I see how beautiful you are. Hold on, look. Look at that beautiful smile. Let me show you. You ain't gonna need them. Doe, you not gonna need them. I like your smile. I think that you dope, but you not gonna need them. You can forget about it. No teeth. You ain't gonna need none of that. None of that. No. Gum jobs. That's it. All right. Vegetables, soft serve, ice cream for Sundays. I gotta read some of these super chats, yo. Hold on. C Money is in the building with said, love the videos, bro. I'm new here, just started watching. Shout out to C Money and all my new people. Bella, forget about it. Bella, you got that shape. You be out there. Bella and her friends is fine. I'm gonna tell you. You don't need them teeth at 80. You don't need nothing about it. You don't need nothing about it. Just forget about it. Shout out to C Money in the building. We appreciate you. Rob, what up, Rob? Rob says we can't have someone in a very important position doing mannequin challenge. Biden don't need to be running again. He can't keep his balance. Facts. Soup and smoothies, Toy. That's all they need in order to keep their digestive system in the right place. Mr. Told You is in the building. Shout out to Mr. Told You. I appreciate you, big dog. Says Fetterman, McConnell, Feinstein, all compromised and old. Thank you for the 10 ball. Fan over here. She going to be 80. We ain't got to worry about them teeth at Fan 80s. Let's speak on how this is clearly the puppet. So who are the puppet masters? Y'all keep voting them in, Fan. Keep voting them in. Why you keep voting them in, Fan? Brock says he froze up like the lizard girl in the movie Rango. That's a fact. Let's continue. Jeremy H is in the building, says my aunt is an RN and said that he had a mini stroke. I know, everybody in the world can see that shit. Fan said to control him. I agree. You are right about that, Fan. For one time, Fan was rooting against me on Monday. She was rooting for the white boy. That's because she got a white man. I see what side of the aisle you on. This is why they say you can't be pro-black and marry a white man at the same time, Fan. You're proving them right. You know what I'm saying? AL says, I had a professor in grad school who used to do the same thing everyone in class would look like it's normal. Materials, thermodynamics was hard enough, but him falling asleep made it worse. Facts. Man, we got these people all over. They walking around, they having seizures, and we not holding them accountable. Marriage, Politics, and Sports says, another good show. Moscow Mitch has to go. I agree. Carl, V8 in the building, says they keep voting for him in Kentucky. Is he in Kentucky or is he in Tennessee? I thought he was in Tennessee. Fan says he determines what gets brought to a vote in the Senate, and he's glitching. That's a fact. That's a fact that you are absolutely. Fan is on one today. Right Insight says, AD, check out Senator Feinstein and Fetterman. It's a bigger issue. Send that to me in my email, y'all. Fan says people aren't voting for the senators, and that's the biggest problem. Only the elders vote in the Senate elections. JC Incorporated says, Anton, most Congress people's assets are acquired from Wall Street, helped by the inside info. Nancy Pelosi is a perfect example of insider trading. Tech Noob, and she old as dust too. Shout out to fucking decrepit Nancy Pelosi. Tech Noob says, I'm trying to decide between top MBA program and a master's in computer science. How do I book a consultation? Either send me a message inside of the Patreon or email me at antondaniels413@gmail.com. Shout out to Tech Noob going out there and getting that bag. Aaron says, by the way, 15 years later, he's still teaching at over 90. Really? Seriously? Art by Fella. Shout out to Art by Fella says, Inkster in the house. Hey, Inkster. Shout out to my Metro Detroit people. Says, Inkster in the house. Shout out. Keep up the good work. Hey, why they keep saying that I'm not the top dude in Detroit that's putting on for content creation? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Brother Darkness is in the building. Shout out to Brother Darkness. Says, Ty, you better not be making a YouTube yearbook, bro. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Shout out to y'all. Make sure y'all DM me, ladies, fellas. You stay out of my DMs unless you got something that's going to help us get to a bag or help me react to something. Ladies, y'all send me a DM. I want to make sure that I teach y'all what's really going on, right? Shout out to Lamar Black Attack says, when I am 80, I'm walking pure naked F everybody, and that's me too. Put me on the Me Too list for that, coach. Put me on the Me Too list for that, coach. When I'm 80, I'm walking around the same way, big dog. Third leg and all. Not caring if I offend anybody. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Fan says, let me get to a couple more. Shout out to K Cooper also on Cash App. Fan says, I was rooting for Rita last night because she has a cat, and you know you were lying. No, I wasn't. No, I wasn't. Hey, Muhammad says, are you a real millionaire money-wise? No, I'm broke as fuck up out here. I ain't got no money. By the way, all of the bag chasers, if you want to see what I make, if you want to see the type of money that I take down from corporate America, from content creation, from my businesses, whatever, you're more than welcome to tap into the Patreon. I show y'all the receipts. I actually show y'all my bank accounts. I show you my brokerage accounts. I show you my W-2s. I show you everything. But no, I ain't got no money, fam. I'm broke. It's called the Millionaire Morning Show just because I like to pretend that I'm a millionaire. Dick Maximus. Why did I say that? Mr. Maximus says, I clapped the chick who chest dropped below her belly. I used them for punching back. Shout out to y'all. All right, listen, y'all. We got to get over to the next thing. I'm going to continue to read super chats throughout the show. But I got a full show lined up for y'all. So shout out to Chicago. I told y'all, I've been trying to go over to the West Coast to hold them accountable. Justin Lawrence, I'm going to be reading that super chat shortly. I've been trying to go over to the West Coast to hold them accountable, but Chicago keep every time I try to leave, something keep pulling me back. Every time I try to leave, something keep pulling me back. I can't get away from Chicago. Why does Chicago want me to continue to hold them accountable? Why does the mayor of Chicago keep bringing me back? I don't understand it. You know it's bad when the funeral home owner, right? When the funeral home owner say, yo, this is out of hand. Nobody has a better pulse of what's happening in the streets than a funeral home owner. Nobody has a better pulse of what's happening in the streets of Chicago than the funeral home owners. All right? Let's get into it. Why waste time? Chicago, it's your turn. Shout out to Aaron over there, moved out of Chicago so that he can raise his son in a conducive environment, but he continues to cape for him. Shout out to Aaron.
And we begin with a shooting outside a funeral home on Chicago's South Side.
Nate Rogers is live with details. Nate.
Yeah, that's right. I'm Anthony and Ellie. This is something we're seeing more and more citywide. Shootings taking place following crime victims' funerals. This one taking place right in front of Chicago Police. I want you to take a little walk with me and look at this SUV, the car window here. You can see the glass shattered by gunfire. Now, this was a crime scene for at least a couple of hours. The funeral home.
Could you imagine what the insurance companies is thinking over there in Chicago? They know that somebody is going to call and say, hey, fam, listen, it's not my fault, but it's some bullets inside of my car and there's some holes on the door and the windows are shot out. That is some bullet holes in my car, that it was just parked overnight and it's not even necessarily in a bad space, but we outside of a funeral home and my car just got shot up. I don't know what to do. Can you imagine what that call is like over into the insurance company? That your car just parked. And next thing you know, you come outside and you see bullet holes in it and the car windows are shattered.
Telling me a service had just let out for a crime victim. Loved ones were outside walking to the parking lot when gunmen inside the vehicle drove up and began firing several rounds. It happened here outside the well-known Leak & Sons funeral home, 79th and Cottage, around 11 this morning. Police say a 38-year-old man.
Y'all don't even wait till the nighttime no more. Y'all pulling up to the funeral homes to shoot at the ops' parents for burying their children? Good Jesus Christ. What is happening over in Chicago? What is happening in Chicago? I can't go to the funeral no more? Listen, even in The Wire, they say you don't implement violence on a Sunday. You don't shoot up the church mothers' hats. Why are y'all pulling up at 11 a.m.? and shooting out everything, even in front of you can't go to the funeral home no more? You can't go to the funeral home no more? Even the people that's operating the funeral home owner, and said, listen, profitability is sky high, but I can't take it.
Man was shot in the head, neck, and face. A 43-year-old man was also struck in the jaw. The funeral home has serviced hundreds of thousands of families in its 80-year history.
A 43-year-old man was shot in the jaw, and he lived to tell the story. Funeral home has served more people than McDonald's, hundreds of thousands of customers, and they've never seen anything like this. Think about this, y'all. Hundreds of thousands, funeral home owners. Usually that's passed down from generation to generation. That means that the grandfather and the father and then now the son, and now they trying to pass it on to their son. They say, listen, in our time here in Chicago, we have never, ever, ever seen something of this ilk. We have never seen these kind of demons and monsters running around. We need the Pope's Exorcist. Shout out to the people that watch the Pope's Exorcist on Netflix. I was currently watching it and I got a little scared. I put my blankie up. I said, "Ooh, it looked like Chicago in here." That demon that took over that little boy looked like Chicago demons. They must got a whole lot of them type of demons running around in Chicago. You got the Pope Exorcist demons running around in Chicago, fucking up the bag for everybody, shooting people in the jaw, shooting people's cars out right in front of the funeral home at 11 a.m. when people trying to bury their kids. Okay.
Oftentimes handling the cost for poor and crime.
Hey, can you hear the car burning out in the background while he talking? Let me rewind it a little bit. Listen to this.
80-year history. Oftentimes handling the cost for poor and crime victims.
Listen, man, shout out to my people and my bag chasers and the people that watch this show that's from Chicago. But I just got to be honest. And we're going to continue this story, right? Because we got a lot to get to today. Your city is a piece of trash. There is no other way around it. The city of Chicago is, and you ain't even got to be offended at it, because I'm going to be honest. Listen, Chicago is a piece of shit right now. It's not that it can't come back, but it's just going to take RoboCop in order to fix it. And I'm not dissing the people of Chicago because it's not your city. You don't own it. You don't even own property there. So just because you was born there does not mean that you have to continue to claim it. You are wherever it is that you are right now. If you are from Chicago, I am deploring you to get the fuck out of there because it is a trash receptacle right now. Is no reason for any reasonable person in their right mind that is not trash, that does not vote blue, to be sitting in Chicago on the South Side being a prisoner in their own home. Your city has officially, and you are slightly above Philadelphia, Chicagoans, it's over. Finito. It's done. When the funeral home owners say it's over, it's over. It is over. Flat out. There's no reason for you to defend it. Michael Jordan don't live there. He don't play there. B.J. Armstrong moved away. Lonzo Ball can't even suit up, so his knees is bad out there in the streets. It's nothing. Listen, the people from Detroit don't even want us to drive over to Chicago for a weekend getaway no more. You know it's fucking bad. We decided to go over to Pittsburgh. We drive the same amount of time the opposite way. Go that way. Go that way. Miracle Mile, we ain't going over there. Taxes is high. People is under duress. Mayor is bad. Everybody got a switch, and they shooting up the funeral home. What more do you want? That's literally the recipe for a third world country.
From families now, owner Spencer Lee Jr. says today's gunmen were brazen.
Ever there is a gunshot or a crime victim service, sure, we call the police.
Hey, he not even standing up straight. The funeral home owner ain't got no mustache, and he just leaning against the building like, man, this is enough is enough. These dudes is just out of control. Out of control.
And the police send a car. A police car was right out front when all of this happened.
And police witnessed it.
Wait. I didn't know that part of the story was going to be there. The police car was sitting right out front. They had no regard for the police, and they still shot up the funeral home and still shot up the 43-year-old in his jaw and still shot up the cars. The police was sitting outside. And they still went out there and did work. Wow. And the mayor keep telling us that this is just large gatherings. This is not something to be concerned about. Wait. You got to be kidding me. I did not know that part of the story actually existed. Let me rewind it real quick.
It was right out front when all of this happened.
And police witnessed it.
Police witnessed it. They took off and chased the guys.
What do you think about that?
It's just, I mean, if you can do it in front of the police, how is it going to be stopped?
The funeral home owner decided that he wanted to go on a further rant, so I'm going to share that with y'all. I want y'all to see what his sentiments are. We just going to let him rant for a minute.
And I'm tired of it. I am sick. My brother, my father. Funeral homes, funeral directors across this city, across this state. This is not just happening in Chicago. This is happening in Atlanta, Philadelphia, California. It's happening everywhere. What are we as a society going to do to help stop this? It's been upsetting for us, for my father, other funeral homes in the city. For some reason, I feel this just started happening. I mean, this is the new trend or something. Years ago, we would unfortunately have a victim of a homicide, and they were the most peaceful funerals. You know, it was the other families that were the uncles and the aunts, like the Hatfields and McCoys. They were the ones that would have the fights and things like that. But the person who was the victim of a gunshot, the funerals were quiet, just no problems. But for some reason this year, last year, maybe COVID is a part of it. This is what's happening at these funeral services. And we can only do so much. When we know that there's going to be a funeral at our funeral home for a victim of a homicide, we call the police. And most of the time they graciously send a car to sit out front of the funeral home, and we thank the police for that, and that's what happened today. So from what I understand, the shooting took place right in front of the police. So what else can we do? You know what I mean? The police are out front. We've called and we've let everybody know, we've let the family know that we're going to have the police outside. Are you okay with that? They say yes. The police are outside and this happens. What else can we do?
You seem very upset.
I'm very upset. I mean, where you can't see that name? That's my name on that building. And when things like that happen in front of my place, that affects my name, my brother's name, my son, who's 19, who hopefully will take over this place one day.
Run. Run. Run, run. Run, run, run. Listen, if you're willing to risk it, then take a chance. If you're not willing to risk it, then run, run, run away. Listen. When the funeral home director says, "Is that bad out here?" then you have to start taking some things into consideration, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just being real with you. When the funeral home owner says, "Listen, bro, it's so bad out here that they don't even care about the police anymore," and it's like the McCoys, yo, what do you want me to do? The mayor is calling for y'all to defund the police. He's downplaying it and saying that it's just large gatherings. He's walking around with his mohawk fade. The funeral home director is saying that, yo, it's bad out here in these streets. Everything is getting shot up. Nothing is ever sacred anymore. Yo, I had somebody in the chat that said, yo, Chicago ain't that bad. You just got to learn how to move. What? I don't want to learn how to move. I just want to be a normal human being. What are you talking about? I ain't trying to learn how to move. That's not normal. This is not normal. Do y'all not understand? Listen. Do y'all not understand that? And I know y'all don't like to hear this. This is a demonic spirit that is running rampant and being fed. Shout out to Speaker Vibes. I'm going to be reading the super chat shortly. This is a demonic spirit that is running rampant in our society, and it is being fed like a rabid dog, and it's growing bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and now it's starting to be at your doorstep, and you are not going to be able to run fast enough to get away from it before it then affects what it is that's going on in your life. This is getting out of control. It is a demonic spirit that is taking over our women, our children, our society, and you don't want to believe it, but I'm telling you, it is nothing else that you can explain to me that would foster this type of situation and this type of mindset to where you feel comfortable enough to shoot up a funeral home while the police is sitting in front of it.
It affects him. Chicago, put the guns down. You all are ending generational. You're ending.
He don't even know what the words to say.
Generations of history, so to speak. That is an institution. This is an institution. We have done what we're supposed to do. Everybody says you're supposed to take care of your neighborhood. Heck, we bought the whole block. We're doing what we're supposed to do. Everybody else, you need to do your part. We're doing our best.
Somebody told me that it's a substantial amount of likes that's missing from this live stream, even though we cooking up every single morning. Somebody told me that it's a substantial amount of likes that's missing from this live stream, even though we cooking up every single morning. What are y'all doing? So y'all came in to come and get the game and be entertained, and y'all didn't even hit a like for the YouTube algorithm?
And that these services and what your father and what your family has been doing for decades now, trying to allow the deceased.
Look. And I'm going to show you what the problem is. This is why we got a problem. Sean says, are they manufacturing the guns? Okay, so let me ask you a question. Have you ever smoked crack, Sean? Have you ever smoked crack? I'm just curious. Let me blow this up a little bit. Have you ever smoked crack, Sean? Now, Anton, why would you ask me if I ever smoked crack? Because I know that you know where to get it from. Are you worried about who manufactures the crack? And do you have to use it just because it's readily available to you? When did we have to start subjecting ourselves to stuff that just because it's available? Why do y'all keep wanting to hold? Okay, so if it wasn't guns and they started stabbing each other, would they be not? It would be knives. If they start beating each other in the head with a broomstick, do that mean that we got to stop manufacturing broomsticks? Or do you have to take accountability for what it is that you're doing? So we don't want to hold the parents accountable. We don't want to hold the city leaders accountable. We don't want to hold the fact that they saying defund the police. We don't ever want to do anything that actually holds ourselves accountable. It's always somebody else who's responsible for where it is that we supposed to be in our lives. No matter what you say, and no matter how much crack is available, you will never get me able to smoke crack. Who manufactures the crack? I don't give a fuck. I don't want that shit. You can't get somebody to do something that they don't want to do. I don't care how much box is being thrown out here. You can't force me to cheat. That's the rules of the game. You don't get mad at the player. You don't get mad at the game. You get mad. Yo, you make sure that you take care of home. It's not your responsibility. The same thing that applies to relationships applies to life principles. You can't get mad at the person that didn't bust down your chick. You hold your chick accountable for not doing what she's supposed to do, because there's no way that somebody should be able to convince you to do something that you don't want to do. What's wrong with y'all? Can't nobody force me to do something I don't want to do. Y'all so easily influenced. Y'all so easily influenced. That's why y'all out here eating butt. That's why y'all out here eating butt. You know why y'all out here eating butt? Because everybody else influenced you to eat butt. Now you think it's normal to put your face in somewhere where somebody is taking a dump at. That's why you eat butt. That's why y'all do some of the dumbest shit that I've ever seen in my entire life. Man, come on, man. Let me talk my shit right now. Let me get the funeral. This is why y'all eat butt. This is why you feel comfortable doing shit that you're not supposed to do, that's completely out of the fucking norm. It makes no sense whatsoever. But y'all out here doing the dumbest shit ever because it's easily available. So just because somebody bend over, you gonna put your head in between her ass? Just because somebody bend over, are you gonna put your... That's why they won't give me my 30 million, because I don't know how to be politically correct, right? They don't want to put me on national TV and give me my 30 million because they know I got the best morning show on earth. But I don't know how to be politically correct. Listen, if somebody is outside walking around with their dangling out, are you going to automatically go and grab it? No, you don't do things that you're not supposed to do. You make sure that you stay far away. You're supposed to run away from the wrong thing when you see it happening, not continue to embrace it. Well, who make the gun? So that means I got to go out there and put a switch on it and put a silencer on it and also put the scope on there and start shooting it. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? So everything that somebody make available to you, you just do it. When you see a chick bend over, you going to put your head in between her butt just because it seemed nice? Or are you going to start making better decisions for yourself? What's wrong with us? Randy, let your mother hear this. She needs to know what's going on in this society. Why are you eating butt? So you heard Janae Aiko talk about the groceries, and now it's cool for you to continue to put your head in the groceries. Get my likes up, man. Shout out to Kahari L. West in the building on Cash App. Also, let me give a shout out to my dog Tommy on the Cash App. I appreciate you guys. I got to acknowledge y'all. Y'all hitting me off with them bags. Y'all throwing money on me like I'm a stripper. Throwing money on. Oh, my God. Justin Lawrence says, a little late to the show today. 2 supervisor interviews today. Shout out to the bag chasers. Killing the game. Chasing the bag with no regrets. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as been to the top of the chat. Justin out here killing it. Bree Powers says Chicago stays in front of the congregation. That's Aaron's fault. Until Aaron started holding his tribe accountable for the city that he ran away from, instead he keep trying to name other cities instead of holding him accountable, then we going to keep bringing Chicago to the front of the congregation. Blame Aaron. Hashtag blame AL. Hashtag blame AL. Shout out to the DJ Gray Hat in the building. Gangsta Love. What up, what up, what up? Says Anton would be interested in doing a joint venture in a funeral home business. Cremations. I have experience in the funeral business. Well, tell me how much it costs and give me the send me the business plan. And then I might invest in that because that may be a move. How much is it to get the funeral license? How much is it to get the funeral license? I'm curious. Hashtag AL. This is the person that we want to hashtag. Blame AL. Hashtag blame AL is what I want trending on Twitter by the end of the day. Hashtag blame AL. Says, so you're going to ignore Detroit. Detroit is in great shape. Crime is down. Police is fully funded. Initiatives are starting to take place. The city's payrolls are up. Shout out to Detroit. Shout out to Mayor Mike Duggan. Shout out to all of the citizens of Detroit doing the right thing on a regular basis. Occasionally, we have some spaces that we have to address, but for the most part, Detroit is taking care of business. Shout out to Detroit. Hashtag blame AL is the new trend that we got going on in these streets. EAFR says Chicago is a great city. It's just the community that's a dump. Lots of great neighborhoods with diverse cultures. Show me where they at. Show me where they at. I want to know where they at. Speaker Vibe says, got to take it back to the old days. When someone does something stupid, send them to the guillotine. Blame AL for his bad sports takes. I agree. Blame AL for his bad inaccountability. Smiling Buddha says, spiritual warfare is real. JLP is amazing. Jesse Lee Peterson is amazing. Absolutely. Hey, y'all, somebody bring Aaron to the front of the congregation. Rob says, my wife and I visited Chicago in 2019. The first short dread head I saw, I grabbed her and we crossed the street. Beautiful downtown. Won't go again. Anastasio, you can't be being late, baby. It's too late in the day for you to be being late because you know I interact with my chat and I need to see my people here. Jake Fever says, Sean smoked crack. I could tell someone on dope. Y'all can tell a crackhead when y'all see one. Lady Shan is in the building, says, I feel bad for dude, but death is his paycheck. We might as well capitalize off of it. This is what the country is. It is capitalism. 1/3 says, where your treasure is, your heart is. Matthew 6:21. Shout out to 1/3 in the building. My dog, Cliff Williams, is in the building, says, fun facts are butt eaters. There's 1 million bacteria and 1 gram of poop. Let that sink in next time you go chow on brown. Shout out to my Canadians and my UKians in the building. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm and subscribe to the channel. I got a couple more things that I want to tap into. We holding everybody accountable, including our fellow Asians. Shout out to my Chinese out here in the building. He said, Anton, how do you know he's Chinese? Because I was able to read his name. I was able to read his names. Y'all don't speak Mandarin or Cantonese? Ni Kwei Shua Potong Kwa Ma? Wall Kwei Shua EDR Potong Kwa. Wall Shou Da Bu Hao. They say, Anton, you just speaking gibberish. Oh, well, go and chop this up, play it in the translator, and see what it is that I just said. Just because you don't know how to speak another language don't mean that Anton from AntonDaniels.com does not know how to speak another language. Does not mean that Anton is not multicultural and know how to speak another language. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Ni kwe shwa potong kwama. That means, do you speak Mandarin? Wall. Yes, I do. Wall kwe shwa. I speak it. Wall kwe shwa idiar potong kwa. I do speak a little bit of Mandarin. Wall shodabu how. A little bit. I can speak it a little bit. Just a little bit. Yes, I can. Make sure y'all get y'all likes up for the algorithm and subscribe to the channel. Yes, I can. And I speak it fluently. Take me over to China with you. I can translate for you. I can get you there.
All right, new tonight here at 10 o'clock, a pretty incredible story of a family of three wondering why their baby daughter kept getting sick and why they had a strange odor in their home. Was it their apartment? Was it the water? Well, when they saw this, a man injecting some sort of chemical through the bottom of their door into their home, they knew their lives could be in jeopardy. Fox 13's Jenny Lewis is here with us in studio tonight with...
Did you see how fast he did that? Thank God we got cameras and stuff today. Thank God we got cameras. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. You know I know what I'm talking about. You know I know what I'm talking about. Shout out to Tough Topics Podcast. Shout out to Tough Topics Podcast. You know I know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Yeah. Thank God we got cameras nowadays, because now we have the ability to be able to catch each and every individual that is not doing what it is that they're supposed to do. Isn't this one of the most evil? When I keep telling y'all that it's spirits in the air, it's spirits in the air that's doing some of the most evil things that you've ever seen in your lifetime. I am not capping. I'm not capping. Somebody, listen, why would you do this? Why would you do this? And why would you continue to go back to the same place over and over and over and over again? Why would somebody walk over and then try to inject chemicals into a neighbor's door that has children? You got to go up and set up a camera to try to see what the heck is going on, because it happens so fast that you don't even know what the heck is happening. That's crazy.
This story, Janae, we're speechless here.
Yeah, it's hard to watch that video and not feel any other way. The family says the excitement they had of moving into their new home quickly turned into terror, and you saw why. As a frustrated neighbor took his concerns too far, now they're afraid to be inside that very home.
It is extremely scary.
Umar Abdullah says it's very difficult to talk about the last few months. He says it started with complaints from a downstairs neighbor over noise.
So after my daughter was born in August last year, his complaint, like footstep complaint, drawer closing.
But escalated to this.
I installed a hidden camera outside because we were suspecting someone is basically tampering our place from outside.
Smart man.
And then we caught our neighbor injecting something through our door.
He says a friend noticed an unusual chemical odor in their home in May. They checked the appliances, hoping to determine the source of the smell, but couldn't. A month later, Umar says his eyes started to burn and his daughter was coughing and throwing up. He says the smell had returned, so he checked the water heater nearby, finding a strong odor.
I was bending down. I sniffed all through that place. And
after replacing it, Umar says the odor and discomfort returned. This is when he set up the hidden camera.
On June 27th, I found that our neighbor is coming with a syringe. He's pulling something from a vial and then he's injecting through our entry door. If we could not have found that incident on the camera, probably after a few days we might have been just dead.
He called.
That's crazy. That is crazy. Yo. So the people in Chicago was using switches. And then the people in Florida is using chemistry in order to go over there and destroy different people's lives. So because you don't like your neighbor, You walking over and you regularly on a daily basis injecting chemicals in their door that then affects a whole entire family. And this is insane. Shout out to Florida. I got to bring you to the front of the congregation. Shout out to Florida. I got to bring you to the... This is evil. This is evil. This is just as bad, if not worse, than the people in Chicago. This is evil. And he's doing it on a regular basis, meaning that he knows that he's taking people's lives and he's affecting their health. And you don't know what he's injecting. You don't know what the long-term ramifications of it is. You have no clue whatsoever. And because you don't like your neighbor, this is what you're doing? And y'all don't think that this is demonic?
Police and records show Zooming Lee was arrested and charged with multiple counts of battery and possession of a controlled substance.
No. That's not enough. That's not enough. I need attempt murder on that rap sheet. I don't want no battery and possession of a controlled substance. I don't want none of that. I want attempt murder. I want everything else on that thing that you can. Because if it was somebody else, they would be throwing the book at him. If it was somebody else, they will be throwing the book at him, and then you get that lawyer with them slide-ons, them slip and slides on, that's coming there talking about, yeah, man, I think you should just plead guilty. Wait a minute, you didn't even review my case. Yeah, but I think you should still plead guilty. Then he walk over to the next person. Yeah, so I think you need to plead guilty. Walk over to the next person. Yeah, so I think you need to plead guilty. I'm sorry, are you going to review any of these cases? Do you think I got a chance? You know I really didn't do it. Then you get them football numbers because they trump up your charges so much that you don't want to spend the rest of your life in jail, especially with a jailhouse lawyer that got slip and slides on that's getting paid $60 per inmate. And so now you got a felony on your record and you really didn't even do nothing, but you got accused of something and you don't want to do the rest of your life in prison. They gave this man possession of a controlled substance and battery and aggravated stalking. Come on, fam. Come on, fam.
The report identified him as a USF student. A spokesperson from USF says he is no longer enrolled as of this summer. He was a PhD student in the chemistry department.
If people...
And think about it. You know what makes it even worse, and you know why they need to make an example of him? Is because this was a person that was possibly going to be super successful. He was a PhD student, and he was probably going to be incredibly successful, and he was also going to be serving the public. That's what make it wild, is that when you go over to your doctor or when you go over into your lawyer or when you go over into this professional or he wind up being a person that is putting together some kind of, substance or whatever it is. He works for some pharmaceutical company. This guy is probably going to be leveling up and getting to the highest levels of whatever it is if this man didn't put a camera in his little fake plant. That these are the things that people do behind the scenes and that they have in a past that you can't uncover because they never got caught from it. And so this is why I say that character matter just as much as getting to the bag. You can teach somebody how to get to the bag. You can tell them how they can be successful. But if you don't develop the character that go along with it, then you then are going to become more of a supervillain instead of a person that actually adds value into society. Getting the bag alone does not actually substantiate you actually have a good character as a result of it.
Use their knowledge, this extreme knowledge, to harm people. I mean, they can be even more dangerous.
Umar says he was told Zooming is in the process of relocating, but they're still very uneasy, never thinking their home would become a place they now fear.
I can never expect a neighbor. I mean, I can never imagine to expect something like that happen to anyone. I wish no one else would have to go through a situation like this ever in their life.
Let me pull this up. I want to show y'all something. Give me a second. Give me 1 second. I'm going to pull this up for y'all. I want to go into details. I don't want this to just be one-sided. I want to go into full details. Give me 1 second. I want to pull up the details of this. Because this is disrespectful. This is egregious. In no way should any person be subjected to it at all. I'm going to be reading the super chat shortly. Give me a second. Ex-chemistry student accused of injecting opioid under a neighbor's door used the university lab to mix dangerous toxins. Let's continue. It goes on to say, charged with injecting opioids under his neighbor's front door because of a noisy toilet seat. A noisy toilet seat is the reason that he gave as to why he injected a toxic opioid under his neighbor's door, because of a noisy toilet seat. Used the laboratory at his university to carefully mix the dangerous toxins. Zooming Lee, 36, used the lab at the University of South Florida's campus to mix and load liquid syringes on multiple occasions with the intent to harm residents of the condominium. Lee was a PhD chemistry student at the university until the summer of 2023. The chemist was arrested on June 27th after his neighbor caught him on a hidden camera. Hold on. Squirting a clear liquid into the crack of the door frame. Goes on to say a hazmat test revealed the liquid chemical agent contained a combination of methadone and hydrocodone, both opioid painkiller pain medications. Word of the shocking poisons sent other residents of the Oxford Place at Tampa Palms into a state of panic. According to the suit, which seeks to boot Lee and his co-owner roommate from the complex. That's crazy. Abdullah said that he and his pregnant wife and their young daughter moved into the complex directly above Lee in 2022. Lee soon began sending angry texts to his new neighbors, complaining that he was losing sleep over the sound of his toilet seat clanging. Soon after, the family suddenly began experiencing unexplained bouts of nausea and dizziness. I looked at my daughter. Her eyes were full of tears, and she was not crying, but her eyes were full of tears. Family friend first noticed the chemical odor while grabbing a package for them while they were away on vacation. Abdullah then noticed the scent and suspected an issue with his water heater. However, a stench persisted after he replaced the appliance and had his air ducts and vents cleaned. Desperate for a resolution, he called the fire department, who conducted tests but found nothing amiss. Wow, this dude was going to get away with it. Never thought about all of this, that no. I'm just imagining this. No. He eventually noticed a small crack in his doorway, began to suspect his disgruntled neighbor. After falling ill again, he set up a hidden camera outside of his door, was shocked to see Lee crouching down and emptying a syringe under his front door, and said, "We were shaking." He needs to be charged with way more than that. He needs to be charged with way more than that. Gosh, that's crazy. That's insane. But we living in the end of times, baby. We living in the end of times, baby. It's getting bad out here. It's getting very, very bad out here. Let me read some of the super chats, and then I want to get into the money aspect of things so I can get y'all up out of here. Shout out to everybody on Cash App. Y'all been killing the Cash App today. Let me hit y'all with that. Jay Ben is in the building, says it's that new variant of the vid. Shout out to Jay Ben. I appreciate you, big dog. Let me see what else we got in here. Jake Fever says, shout out to Joni, my high school classmate. Who is Joni? Shout out to Joni. That's what Jake Fever wanted to say to you. Jamal Park says, Anton, any recommended books to read on sales? No, I just think that the first thing that you first need to read is How to Win Friends and Influence People by Napoleon Hill. Because the first rule of sales is that people do things because they like you, not necessarily because you have the best product. And so you got to learn how to network more effectively, overcoming objections, getting past the gatekeeper, law of averages. And let me just give you a quick crash course. So you already know that you have to be personable, right? even when it comes to sales in corporate America, and it's not just sales, sales applies to everything that you do. And so if you're the type of person that get along with people and human beings, or you can go up to a woman and cold call, right? You got to be able to have that courage to do so first. Secondly, you have to be personable, meaning that you got to be the type of person that can be a people person. People like you, smell good, look good, and give off that good energy. Also, law of averages, meaning that you have to time box what it is that you're doing and understanding that everybody you shouldn't always be looking to overcome objection, but you should master what overcome an objection look like, because everybody may not necessarily be a person that can be a decision maker. Also got to be able to identify who's a decision maker and who's just a gatekeeper, because it's a lot of people that you will pitch or you will try to cold call, and they will be the ones that prevent you from actually getting to the person that makes the decision. And also a part of that equation is making sure that you are nice to that person, because they may have empowered the person that's the gatekeeper to then make a decision on their behalf, right? And so all of these things matter, but more importantly, you need to read How to Win Friends and Influence People by Napoleon Hill. It's one of the greatest books of all time. And then read Dale Carnegie. Dale Carnegie is also a really good book, really good author also. So shout out to Jamal Perks. I appreciate you. Let me see. Jay Ben is also back in the building. Said, bro was out here with the Wu-Hang Wildin'. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. JC Incorporated says, that's why I think the Wuhan was intentional. I have no idea. I do not have an opinion on it at all. Bilderberg Boy says, Anton, can you say y'all out here eating butt? No, I cannot. No, I cannot. I can learn how to say y'all out here eating butt. Jay Ben says, early level terrorists screen immigrants thoroughly. Shout out to you. I appreciate you. Continue to run it up, y'all. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. My dog Jake Fever says she was the reporter, bruh. Janae. Oh, Janae. Janae. Shout out to you. Now I get what you were saying. Okay. I see you. Shout out to you. Let's continue. I got one more thing that I want to go over before I get y'all up out of here. My favorite thing that I'm starting to do is review people complaining about their state in life. I do not watch it before I get a chance to view it, but I make sure that it is something worth viewing. Make sure that you guys hit a like for the algorithm. Shout out to y'all that subscribe to the channel and the people that tapped into the Patreon. Make sure you get that Teach Hanley, 30% off your first order plus a free gift. Let's deep dive into this because I feel like laughing, and hopefully they give me something that I can laugh about.
Y'all, what is this math? What is this inflation math? How is it that inflation is at 7.5%, but everybody is marking it up 25 and 30%? Like, I'm looking at you, Dollar Tree. The f is this? What? I don't understand. It's random, and then it's across the board. Like, some of the shit in the Dollar Tree wasn't worth $1 in the first place, but you're like, I'll break even. $1.
So let me help you to understand how inflation works. So inflation, let's just say inflation is at 7.5%, right? Because a lot of people don't understand how money works. And so they get on TikTok and they make these TikToks and they sound smart to a bunch of people that don't understand it. But I'm going to break it down for you. So inflation is a combination of different things that then is put together basically in an aggregate that shows you exactly what that average percentage is based off of a lot of different factors, right? So you can go food inside of the store, maybe at a certain inflation number, gas, right? Rent may be up exponentially more than all of that stuff, but it all balances out at the end of the day, but it's then individually applied to based off of your lifestyle. So you may be living in an exponentially more inflationary environment than person B over here that may be living in less of an inflationary situation, because what it is that they pay or what their life circumstances is doesn't require them to then have to subject themselves to the same things that you're subjecting yourself to. So for example, if I'm the type of person that do not have gas cars and I only drive electric cars, then I'm not subjected to gas prices that would then contribute to what my lifestyle inflation would be. Whereas if you're the type of person that go to the dollar store every time, right? The dollar store then they compile how much they need to raise prices, not based off of what the rate of inflation is, but what their true cost is in order to continue to do business. So if they have to raise rates, right? If they have to raise how much they pay their employees, if their rent goes up, If the cost of logistics in order to get stuff to and from into the United States in order to have it inside of their stores, if the rate that they charge drivers in order to deliver the stuff then goes down exponentially because the cost of shipping goods and services goes down, all of those different things factor into what your personal inflation is, or more importantly, what they need to raise prices into being based off of what it costs them to do business and maintain relevancy in the marketplace as a company. So you can't just look at it in one way and say, well, the inflation is at 7.5%. No, you can't use that. You can't use what the government is putting out there in the news to say what inflation is in order to justify what you're paying inside of a specific store, because their cost of doing business is much different than what it is that your cost is as far as inflation. Also, they may have not raised prices according to how inflation has been over the last few years. So if you see a jump up in 25% in the cost of doing business, significantly up, then that means that it's probably that they have been keeping prices down because they didn't want to pass the cost over to their customers and just adjust prices every single time that we have a month of inflation that's compared to the year of yesteryear, right? So when you see these people complaining and whining, it just shows you their level of misunderstanding of how it is that money works, especially when it comes to inflation and how that applies to their life. I love it to see people complaining, because the more that you let people talk, the more that they reveal how much that they don't know. But let's continue to hear what she got to say.
25.
When are things going to go back to where you can work and support your family without fucking
Somebody said the energy for EVs is just coming from the outlet. Yeah. However, I don't necessarily have to pay for that because that's a baked in cost for where it is that I live. So I don't pay for that energy. Or when I charge my car over at a free place or where you work at or something like that, you're still not experiencing the same type of inflation as somebody else may be experiencing, because the cost of doing business for them is different for you, right? Let's continue.
Stressing out.
I'm fed up with how much it costs to eat. Like, it's to the point where it's like, how is
Hold on. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this.
we supposed to be the moms like the TikTok girlies, where we taking our kids to the aquarium and it's $65 per kid to get in the aquarium when we could barely feed them?
You better take them little munchkins over to the fish store. Listen. You do not deserve to go over to the aquarium and pay $65. What about, listen, you know what our parents used to do? You know what we used to do when we used to go to the movie theater? We would go and buy our snacks and bring it with us inside of the movie theater, or we would eat before we went. Y'all ain't never actually ate before you went somewhere so that you're not hungry, or you pack a lunch. You know that when you go to work every day, you don't have to go out to eat with your coworkers every day, or you don't have to order DoorDash. You can also, here's a hint, pack a lunch. I told y'all the other day, I went to the store, we went to go get our daughter a calculator, and I wound up going and buying a bunch of food just so I can pack a lunch, because I just wanted to eat something different than what they got on DoorDash every day. You don't have to go to the aquarium.
And we're back with another TikTok vents about inflation. We have a couple of these videos in this series, and it's really great to be able to hear people and what they're going through. I think without social media, I don't know for sure. What do you have good firsthand?
My bills alone are $3,000 a month. I'm a single mom who receives like $300 a month in child support for 2 kids.
Oh. Nobody told you to have a child. Nobody told you to walk away from the child's father. Nobody told you to not be married when you had children. Nobody told you to run up all of those bills. Nobody told you to have 2 children. Nobody told you to do any of this stuff. All of this stuff is self-inflicted. When I'm seeing these people online complaining, I'm going to be reading Super Chat shortly. Thank you all for continuing to hold me down. When I hear all of y'all online complaining, Who told you to maintain a lifestyle that required you to get a car note, have kids, become a single baby mama? That's your fault. Hey, matter of fact, let me throw some salt in y'all wounds. Hey, fellas, you want to know what the real finesse is? Let me tell y'all how y'all can cut y'all child support so that they suffer even more for their own decisions. So this is what you do, right? Pay attention closely. So look, child support is largely based off of what your earnings are, okay? Child support is based off of what your earnings are. So they take your paycheck, and then they calculate what the percentage of it needs to go into child support, and then they send that over into the woman, and the whole system is made to where y'all can start making a lot of money. This is how you can finesse women like this, right? If you want to have all of my pookies out here, I never give y'all a bone, but I'm going to throw y'all a bone today. If you want to finesse a woman like this that wanted to open up her legs to you and didn't require you to wear a condom or told you to take the condom off, let me tell you how you can finesse them, right? So when you start your own business, you don't necessarily want to operate as a LLC or a sole proprietorship. You want to make sure that you operate as a corporation. As a corporation, what happens is they basically are their own entity, meaning that they have their own TIN, EIN, employee identification number, tax ID number, so on and so forth. So that files taxes separately than what it is that you file taxes. When you traditionally do your taxes and you got an LLC, what it is you usually file it on a Schedule C. A Schedule C is basically another form that basically allows for you to justify what your earnings are in your business. Follow along. Sole proprietorship, similar thing. When you file your taxes as a regular employee, they just tell you to put in your W-2. If you have any deductions as far as your home and all of this other type of stuff, then they put that on there. It's a very simple process. Most of y'all just go to H&R Block, give y'all money away for no reason. You can do that on your own, right? When you have a business, what happens is you have to include what's called a Schedule C. A Schedule C allows for you to actually itemize how much money you made, how much money you had to spend, how much you invested, how much you lost, so on and so forth, right? And then at the end of the conversation, what they really tax you on is what's called an adjusted gross income. Your adjusted gross income is your W-2 income minus or plus what your business income is, all right? I don't usually give away all of this type of game or have these conversations with y'all for free, but I'm going to tell you how to reduce your child support. Your adjusted gross income is the total amount that they tax you on. That's how you know whether or not you're going to get a refund or you owe. It's your adjusted gross income. It's called an AGI. It's usually on the first page of your 1040 that you file with the IRS, okay? I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just giving you the information. I am not a tax professional. I'm just giving you the game, all right? So take what I say with a grain of salt. Also consult your tax professionals. This is not advice. Your adjusted gross income is the amount of money that you pay your taxes on, okay? So what happens is if you have a business that has justifiably legal losses. Let's say, for example, you started a business, real estate, web development company, whatever, right? And let's say you invested more into that business than what it returned because you had a startup company, you building or you bought more houses or you building the materials and you're not getting rent from those properties yet, right? Then that means that you take your W-2 income, let's say you made $100,000 a year, and then you invested an additional $62,000 a year into this business. Well, that would mean that your adjusted gross income is $38,000, even though you pay taxes on $100,000. So now all of that money that you got coming back, right? Because you was in a 22% tax bracket. Now you in a 12% tax bracket or even less because all of that money has to come back because they can only tax you based off of your adjusted gross income, not what it is that you made on your W-2. This is why you need to start a business. Now, the child support part comes like this because most of the time they take child support based off of what your weekly or your bi-weekly earnings or wherever it is your paycheck is, right? Here's the other side of it. Let's say you own a business. Let's say you actually a corporation though. That means that that's a completely different or separate entity. Now that corporation pays taxes. It's similar to an Apple, right? Let's say Apple is Apple, but Tim Cook, who is the CEO of Apple, works for Apple. Now, Apple pays its own taxes, and Tim Cook pays his own taxes based off of what Apple pays them. Well, it's the same thing. You start in this corporation, you file taxes differently because the corporation is its own entity, and then you pay yourself a salary, right? That means that they have to take child support based off of what you're paying yourself instead of what the company makes. It's a completely different conversation. Again, take this advice with a grain of salt. Make sure that you consult with your tax professionals. But when you're paying yourself as a business owner, it is completely different than being a W-2 employee. Meaning that you can reduce whatever it is that your tax burden is, your personal tax burden is, and you can reduce the amount that you have to give over to the federal government in order to give her child support by reducing the amount that you're taking in salary so that the company can thrive much more because you had to make the sacrifice as an individual in order to save your company, right? So for all of my pookies out there that's getting women pregnant, but you worried about the fact that you got to give her over child support, but then you also run your own companies or you're doing whatever it is that you're doing. You just got out of jail and you started your company and you're making a lot of money. Reduce the amount of money that you have to depend on in order to pay your personal bills by paying yourself a reduced salary, and then pour more money into the company and then make the sacrifice as the CEO of that company. And then you can also justify your paycheck to the federal government to then say that, hey, I don't make that much money. She shouldn't be getting that much in child support. You're just an employee of the business. You're an employee of the business. You're not the What do y'all want from me? What do y'all want from me? When you look at the base salary of all of your CEOs and all of these people that's in a C-suite or whatever, don't you know that the base salary is just so they can sustain? They get all of their pay in equity. Equity is not taxable until you wind up pulling the equity out of it, right? And then you get reduced taxes based off of the gains, right? That you then make off of that equity. So you can only pay taxes on what it is that you pull out, which is why a lot of people then take loans against the equity because it would cost them more in taxes in order to pull out of the company, which is increasing their assets. It's increasing their assets, all right? So when you listening to all of these people telling y'all all of this stuff, it's not just about how much money you make as a bag chaser. It's how much money you keep. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Let's continue to hear these women complain.
I can't do this anymore. I work every single day. I get maybe a day off. Sometimes if I'm lucky, I'll get 2 fucking days off. I'm sick of it. I'm so sick of this. And I fucking forgot to pay my daughter's braces. And now I have to bring her in for them to remove them because I can't afford to pay it all off at once. I am so sick of this country. I'm so sick of how expensive everything fucking is. Something needs to happen.
And we're sick of you opening up your legs and then becoming a single mother and complaining about the situation that you put yourself in and only getting $300 a month in child support. Shout out to him for finessing her.
Rent isn't.
And I know y'all not paying attention to the fact that this woman got butterfly eyelashes. Those are not her eyelashes. These women are the same women as the women that you're trying to run away from. Don't think just because they got pale skin that they're any different than the women that you're getting finessed from. She is going to try to find herself a baby daddy, and she's also going to finesse the man that she left. And who's to even say that she's not getting child support from 2 different baby daddies? Listen, y'all. She's in a car with stitched leather with sunglasses on, butterfly eyelashes, and she probably got her teeth done, and she got a nose ring, and she got her eyebrows arched, telling you about how it is that she don't like the cost of living, and even though she got to take care of her 2 kids. Come on, man. Don't go for it.
Insane. A 2-bedroom is fucking $2,000. I can't go to the grocery store and get a week's worth of groceries.
And a lot of these white girls also be having extensions in their hair. Bamboo earrings, at least 2 pair. That hair that they be wearing inside of their head do not be real. They just don't be having the baby hairs in the front, so it can be a little bit more deceiving to the guys, to the untrained eye. A lot of these chicks be having pieces and weave and all of this other type of stuff, and they pay a lot of money for it, fam.
Without spending $300, $400. Gas alone, almost $4 a gallon. I have to drive all over my town for my job because
Nobody
I clean
told you
houses.
to get that big SUV. You should have got a hoopty.
I'm so sick of it. Something needs to be done. Something. These prices are insane. It's ridiculous. Nobody can fucking survive like this, especially if you're alone, you're single. You can't.
Yeah.
Like, do I have to get a fucking roommate and rent out my son's room and move him in my room?
No, you can go back to your baby daddy. Go back to the man that you had children with. Maybe you can get a little bit more out of him.
Like, this country, it sucks. It sucks. I'm sick of it. And I'm tired. God, and I'm pissed.
Her video went viral on TikTok, and there was actually a lot of comments on her appearance and her eyelashes and things, which personally I don't think is fair. First of all, eyelashes like that don't even cost.
And there was the usual inflation bullshit. So oats has gone up 10 pence since 2 weeks ago when I last did the food shop.
I don't know.
It used to be 80
I don't
pence,
listen
now
to
it's 90
foreigners.
pence. And
I can't relate to their currency exchange.
Absolutely sick of Canadians complaining about the prices of groceries right now. It's not that bad. I just came back from grocery shopping and a jar of tomato sauce was only $14.99. And it was like the specialty. They made it in house stuff. If you wanted the cheaper stuff, I found ragu for only $7.99 a jar. So what are we complaining about? Oh, I had a lettuce. A little baby had a lettuce. It's so expensive. It's like $10.99. If you're going to complain about that, then go outside. It's fall. Pick up some leaves off the ground. They're falling off trees. Sprinkle a little rainwater on them. You got yourself a salad. You know what I mean? Oh, the price of dairy, it's gone way up. Well,
hey, you know what I don't like? I'm not even listening to this guy. He got his Carhartt hat on. He got his shirt buttoned all the way up to the top. That's cool. The thing I don't like is when guys zoom in while they doing their TikToks or they doing their Instagram things when they keep doing this. I can't do it, bro. I got to move over to the next guy. I don't want to hear all of the complaining. I'm not interested. Let's see.
Give us some of those tips you might have in our comments on that video. Hello, fam. It's Kim. Description box below. Don't forget to follow us on X and join our.
I just went to fill up my car. And it cost me $102. Okay, that's a sick joke. That, considering my car used to be $80, like how did we get to this? Like $102. You've just like cost me about 5 cups of coffee that I now won't buy because I had to put extra in my fucking car for fuel this week. I basically feel.
Aw, you can't get your coffee. You can't get your coffee. You can't get your coffee.
Like I would really like to know what you guys all earn and what exactly you fucking do to earn that kind of money, because I can sit down and tell you what I do at work, and I work really, really fucking hard, but I've got to live week to week because the inflation right now is kicking me in the ass.
All right,
I don't exactly know what you guys do because it never seems to be anything that you promise when you're fucking getting elected to be in the government. But anyway, but that's besides the point of this video. You all basically get paid to break fucking promises, I think. But anyway.
Oh, she says she's trying to figure out what we do. I'm rich, bitch. I'm rich. I walk around with a $40,000-$50,000 watch on my wrist, and I drive a bunch of exotic cars that I ain't even got yet that I got on order. No, I'm just kidding. I ain't got no money. I ain't got no money. I ain't got no money. I ain't got nothing. Nothing. I don't want to hear nothing about it. I'm tired of all of these white women complaining. It's like it's aggravating me.
Videos of these girls talking about how they've saved like $2,000, like $1,500, like in the past month, just like not over consuming, not spending money on frivolous things. And every time those girls said that, I was like, $2,000, like $1,500, like that's a lot of money to be spending on frivolous things anyway. Like, you had that much left over after you pay your bills? Like, I'm only 23, but that was a little scary.
Y'all, what is this math? What is this inflation math? How is it that inflation is at 7.5%, but everybody is marking it up 25 and 30%? Like, I'm looking at you, Dollar Tree. The f is this? What? I don't understand. It's random. And then it's across the board. Like, some of the shit in the Dollar Tree wasn't worth $1 in the first place. But you're like, I'll break even. $1.25. And I personally feel attacked. I went in the Dollar Tree. I left out of my house without my phone charger in my car. So I said, well, let me go to Dollar Tree and get one. And I go to the electronics aisle. Ain't nothing in there but hammers and batteries. And so I go to the front to the little rounder, and it's like micro USB. Give those away. We're not using those no more. And then like headphones and shit. And so I grabbed one thing, or else I would have left out of there. But here we are. I get to the checkout, and there are the C-type chargers that I was looking for, like right up under the damn cashier's titty in case somebody want to steal them. If all this shit in here costs $1.25, why are you protecting this shit? It don't need to be harder to shop at the Dollar Tree. It already costs more. I know I ain't got no business in there. That's obvious. But God.
Wait. Are you telling me that she's complaining because the stuff in the Dollar Tree is $1.25? Hold on, wait. She's complaining because the stuff in the Dollar Tree. She went on TikTok because the stuff in the Dollar Tree costs $1.25? Seriously? This is what we doing? And people be stealing. People be stealing. That's why they got him behind the counter, because people steal. Haven't you seen the recent videos that's been going viral lately on Anton from AntonDaniels.com on the Millionaire Morning Show? People steal. 5-finger discount. That's why they got him behind there.
I'm tired. And I'm an inflation era baby. I remember 1982. And a lot of things that we enjoy today.
Oh, man, you that old? She remember I was born in 1982. I was born in 1982, and she over here talking and complaining about the 80s?
It used to cost more in the 80s when people made less money. But that don't make it no more palatable for me today. I don't like it. What's the time horizon? How long are we going to be dealing with this? Somebody smarter than me, let me know. Somebody smarter than me.
I'm sorry, but the Dollar Tree.
I already gave you the solution, ma'am. Let's see if we can get to one more.
Well, like a month and a half ago, they sent out an email to everyone talking about they're going to raise their minimum pay by $2. And so now everyone's going to start off at this amount. And I'm like, wow, I'm only making a few dollars more than someone coming in starting off at a lower position than me. And I've been here for 7 fucking years. I've been here 7 years. And y'all mean to tell me we're not going to get any raise? But then they're like, no, everyone's going to get a raise. We're going to da-da-da-da. Okay, cool. So I wait about a month and a half. I'm like, let's see what this raise is talking about, because they just said inflation is at an all-time high. So they're going to take care of us, right? I get called in on Monday talking about here's your raise, and it's 60 cents. 60 cents. What the fuck am I supposed to do with that? So you
go find a new job. That's what you're supposed to do. Listen, y'all. Let me give y'all some life advice. When I see a lot of y'all and y'all out here talking about, yeah, Anton, I'm trying to stay loyal to my company or whatever, so on and so forth. Obviously, I've been telling y'all to develop new life skills so that y'all can make an adjustment. However, 3 years is the maximum time that you want to sit there idle inside of a company hoping and waiting for them to give you a promotion. It's not going to happen. By the time that you start to get to that 3-year mark, you want to start getting the itch. Before 4 years, you should already be in a full-blown search to where you're making yourself available to somebody else that is going to pay you a significant amount more to leave the company, right? 3 years is the maximum, because that is the time to where you can actually get some projects under your belt. You can make some friends. When somebody looks at your resume, it doesn't look like you job hop all the time. You have some stability. You're able to have that on your resume, so on and so forth. But at 3 years, that's around the time. That is the time that you want to really, really start getting the itch. And then at the 4-year mark, you should be sprinting, and you should already have your LinkedIn updated. You should be refined when it comes to your social media. Your resume should be absolutely, you should be in touch with recruiters. You should be making friends, shaking hands, kissing babies, and leveraging your PTO time to where you can start doing interviews, because it is time to transition, and it is the perfect time for you to actually be able to substantiate that you've been there long enough. You have some loyalty. You got some projects under your belt. You can speak to some accomplishments. And then also you need to be moving on, because you can probably get 1.5, at least double what you were making at your current position. Okay? Stop whining and complaining. Develop new skills. Move into new industries. And don't be scared to transition into a completely different position. You are always going to make a bigger bag leaving than you are sticking around. All right?
You mean to tell me you know that inflation is at an all-time high and you gonna give me 60 cents? Yep. Oh, no.
And you gonna like it too.
You got me f***ed up.
I spent $425 on groceries a week and a half ago, and I'm running out of stuff already. I look in the freezer, ain't nothing left but a half a pack of ground turkey and a whole chicken. Where is the rest of the food at? I just grocery shopped.
All your badass kids is eating them. What you mean? You and your kids are eating it.
The juice gone, eggs dwindling. Like, it's too much. Then you can't even eat out either. Why?
And why y'all drinking juice? Get some water. Eggs are cheap. Go and get you some more of them. You can make as many of them as you want, and you ain't got to trip about it. Eggs are cheap. Eggs are cheap. Throw some black pepper on them joints, and you good. Eggs are cheap. She sure didn't cook the whole chicken, but they drunk all of the juice. Drink some water. Drink some water. I don't really understand.
Why is Wingstop $18.99 for a 10-piece?
That's why. Because you was listening to Rick Ross. You decided to go and get some Wingstop, and now you complaining about it. Nobody told you that you had to go over to Wingstop. Nobody told you that you had to go over to Wingstop. You got that hair done, though. You got them edges pulled back. You got your kitchen back there taken care of in the back of your head. You got that long weave. I bet you she not going to forego going to the salon that next week. I bet you she not going to forego going to the salon that next week. I guarantee you.
When? It used to be $10. $10 for a 10-piece with the fries back in the day. What is going on? Chipotle, $18. What
she
was
know
$18?
All of the restaurant prices.
What was $18? Subway, Panera, and don't even get me started on.
Don't y'all know that when y'all started protesting and asking for a livable wage, and you were saying at least $15, $16, $17 an hour for the people that was going to be putting your food together at Chipotle, and they didn't necessarily have to have any kind of skill set to do anything, but didn't you know that cost was going to be passed over to the consumers? Oh, so y'all didn't know how economics worked. You didn't know how money worked. You didn't know that they couldn't keep the prices the exact same, but they had to pass that price over to the consumer when you was advocating on the behalf of the people in order to continue to raise wages. Oh, you didn't know that you was going to be paying for those people to have those wages? You didn't know that rent was going to go up? You didn't know that they had to have benefits now, and so you was going to be the one that was paid for their benefits, which you thought that they was going to take a loss? You thought that they was going to take a L? No, that's you, and you're going to be happy to pay them too.
Trying to eat healthy, because now I got to buy my fruits and vegetables weekly, every 4 days, not even weekly. It's just ridiculous how much money you got to spend on food. I don't even want to be hungry.
So you telling me that she's spending $1,700 a month? 4, 8, 12, 16, 25 times 4, that's another $100. Are you telling me she's spending $1,700 a month? $1,700 a month on food.
No more. For real.
I am madder than a cat on a hot tin roof. And let me
And she set that joke up. She practiced that joke about 8 times before she jumped on the live stream and she did her little TikTok. She messed up the first 3 times. I am madder. Hold on, let me start that again. I am madder than a hot cat on a tin. I said that wrong. I am madder than a cat that's mad in a hat. Oh, I'm sorry. I am madder than a cat on a tin roof that got a hat on his head that is mad in the summertime. She practiced that joke about 18 times before she jumped in here, and she really led with that joke like that was going to hit. Come on, y'all. I am madder than a cat with a tinfoil hat on a roof and a cat in a hat. Let me rewind that one more time. Let me see how she started that joke off.
am madder than a cat on a hot tin roof. And let me tell you why. I have just left the damn grocery store, okay? Now, as we all know, I'm a coffee drinker. I need a part-time job just to afford my coffee drinking habit. I went into Harris Teeter and I bought 2 containers of coffee and 2 containers of oat milk creamer. Now, mind you, they're not like huge containers. What are they, like the half-gallon cold brew containers of coffee or whatever? $30.03.
Y'all know y'all don't have to drink this stuff, right? You can just drink water.
$2.03 for 2 containers of Khalifa Farms coffee and 2 containers of Silk oat milk creamer? Are you kidding me? How the hell?
I don't even know what the fuck she's talking about. I don't even drink coffee. I don't even know what she's talking about. Oatmeal creamer and all of this stuff. Yo, this is a dumb group of people.
Can anyone afford this? This is
all of these women are just broke as hell, and just crying and complaining, and they not giving up their habits.
ridiculous. I mean, this makes no sense. This is a crime, and this is just coffee, and I'm so blessed to just be able to afford to have the luxury of coffee. But what about those people that cannot afford to eat? We eat mostly plant-based, although we do.
Every homeless person I know has got a lot of weight on them. I'm not even gonna kid you, bro. That's the honest. Maybe that's just here in Detroit, because I'll be out here giving a lot of money away or buying a lot of food for people and giving them a lot of gift cards. Every homeless person I know is well suited. They certainly ain't got no gym membership, but they so do got a lot of weight on them. See, the homeless people over here is different than the homeless people in other countries. The homeless people in other countries be like, oh, God, can you give me something? I need one drip of water. Can you even pee in my mouth so that I can have some kind of nutrition because I'm dying out here? The homeless people over here in the United States of America be like, I need some more coffee. I don't know what to do. They different over here.
You eat occasional seafood, and I just spent $134.96 to come out of Harris Teeter with 4 bags. Now,
I'm sick of these people. Their lifestyle, honestly, is 10 times more than mine is. And I'm doing okay out here in these streets financially. These people lifestyle, the way that they describe how they live their life, they spend $1,700 a month on food. They out there with $3,000 a month in expenses. My personal expenses is nowhere near that. My personal expenses, meaning that what it takes in order for me to survive and live on a monthly basis, is less than $1,000 a month. Let me say that one more time. My personal expenses, and that's basically what it takes in order for me to survive and be able to thrive, as far as what my monthly personal expenses, not business expenses, not what it takes in order for me to travel to and from in order to come to y'all and see y'all and go to your city and do the debates and Patreon meetups and all of that stuff. My personal expenses is less than $1,000 a month. Mr. Youngblood, people are showing their bank account balances on TikTok. Oh, we're going to look at that tomorrow. I didn't know that. And Mr. Youngblood, send that to me in my email. People showing their bank account balances on TikTok. That's going to be a great show. That is going to be a great show. I'm going to name tomorrow's show Checks and Balances. I'm going to name tomorrow's show Checks and Balances. Yeah, Checks and Balances. My personal expenses is less than $1,000 a month. Meaning, if everything went to shit today, it would only cost me $1,000, less than $1,000 in order to be able to survive. Honestly, that's what my personal expenses are. It's less than $1,000 a month. Oh, y'all want to see my bank account balance? It's wild. No, my bank account balance is not wild. It's it depends on what accounts you're talking about. My personal account balance is nothing. It's probably a couple $100. I'm broke. Let me see what my current personal account balance is. Now, the real estate account balance is crazy because I need a lot of money on hand in order to continue to build these houses, and I got to send these checks out. My brokerage account balance is fucking insane. That shit is wild. Y'all can tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat if you want to see that. But my personal account balance is probably like $100 in there. Who knows? I'm broke, man. I ain't got no money. Don't ask me for nothing. Oh yeah, November we doing the Patreon Build Your Business, where I give y'all seed money. I'm gonna try to give out as much money as I can. I'm gonna be giving away tens of thousands of dollars in seed money in order for y'all to continue to run y'all businesses up. I got $734.99 in my bank account. That's all I got. I don't have anything more to give you. I got $734.99, and I got $38.31 in my checking. In my savings. $734.99 in my personal bank account, in my checking, and $38.31 in my savings. It's a fact, though. Now, if y'all want to see what it is that I make, if you want to see what's in my brokerage account, if you want to see what's in my business accounts, if you want to see what my W-2s are, if you want to see all of that, make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Also, on top of that, make sure you tap into that Teach Hanley, 30% off your first order plus a free gift. And we going to run it up. All right? Listen, let me read these super chats. Hold on. Let me give a shout out to Darwin Christian. Shout out to Darwin Christian in the building with the 50 ball on Cash App. Jeez. Thank you, Tam. So now I got $799 in my bank account. Oh, I'm about to read these super chats. Shout out to Darwin Christian on Cash App. I appreciate you. Brock says, Pass a Love offering. That money talk is my favorite part of the show. Phenomenal show as always. I appreciate you, bruh. Thank you, Brock. I appreciate you. Thank you, my friend. Enos Luby says, I can't believe you haven't talked about Noah Lyles, the new most hated sports person in America. I love what he said about the NBA facts. I'm trying to figure out how it comes back to the money. And look, right after that, Rita texts me. Thank you for sending me some money. Shh. I don't know how it come back to the money. If it doesn't come back to the money, Enos Luby, I don't know how to talk about it. I don't know what relevance it has to this particular show in my audience, fam. I don't know. Shout out to Enos Luby. J Ben is in the building. J Ben says, PetSmart, same fish, different costs. Facts. I appreciate you. William Lucian says, I go to Aldi and buy fresh fruit, cut it up for myself, and make a full week's worth of fruit bowls for under $30. They not trying to hear you. They want to get all of these coffees and all of this other type of stuff. Me and you, Will, is in the same boat. We are both living and praying for God to continue to bless us so that we can make it on a month-to-month basis and be able to get that bag. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to, I got to come back to Latrell. Hold on, Latrell. I ain't going to miss you, big dog. I ain't going to miss you, Latrell. I seen it. Who y'all know that's on here that'll show their bank accounts? You know what I'm saying? Anton is the only person that'll show how little amount of money. So now y'all can stop saying, is Anton? No, I got $700 in my bank account. I ain't got no money. Don't tap in with me. Don't ask me for nothing. Don't pass go. Don't collect $200. I don't have nothing for you, fam. I am tapped out. My bank account, the way my checking and savings is set up, is bad out here. Latrell is in $1 billion and said it's time for her to go 3,000. You know what 3,000 means. You know what that 3,000, that gawk 3,000 is crazy out here in the building. Gab Light Too Bright says another one of the best. Thank you, Anton. Much appreciated. Shout out to you, my friend. I appreciate you absolutely running it up. J Ben says inflation about to curb obesity. No, it's not. People are going to figure out a way to continue to run that checkup so that they can get their fix. Also, Tam. Shout out to Tam. I love Tam. Tam says, can contribute to my GoFundMe. Only need about $200. Facts. That's a fact. Thank you, Tam, for holding me down. Thank you for all of y'all that continues to tune in on a regular basis on all of the different platforms that we on. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. You right, Kojak. Let me highlight that really quickly. So I am going to deal with all of these fake accounts that's setting up. That is TikTok accounts, Instagram accounts, and all of that very, very shortly. Just needed a little bit of time in order to be able to get to it. But the only real account on TikTok is one Anton Daniels. There's a bunch of fake ones that be hitting him up too. I will never shoot you a message on TikTok asking you to invest in anything. I will never ask you and say this is my alternative account. I'm not. I got one account for all social media, and it's all down in the description. So everybody needs to follow me on Instagram, Threads, TikTok, Facebook, all of that, and YouTube. Millionaire Morning Show, Anton Daniels. There is no alternative accounts. I will not hit you up in the DMs and say, hey, why don't you send me this or invest in my... I don't ask anybody for nothing. I don't have anything for sale. I don't even have my merch available for y'all yet. We still developing that. So I don't have a course to sell you. I don't have an investor series to give you. I don't have anything for sale. The only thing that you guys need to be tapped into is whatever is in the description of this video. Outside of that, I don't have anything to sell you. So just make sure that you continue to tune in and rock out with your boy. Listen, I love you guys. I appreciate you. Hopefully I've given you guys something to get you through your day. But I need y'all to do me one more favor before we get up out of here, all right? Make sure you share this with your family and friends. We don't want to be successful by ourselves. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Thank you for helping me run it up and for continuing to add value into my life, because I am nothing without you, and we are all in this together, ladies and gentlemen. Be safe. Do the things that's best for you, and don't get caught up in none of the BS and none of the bullshit that's happening out here in these streets. Stay focused, y'all. I'm going to talk to y'all later. Peace.